It is the fifth Athletics Kenya Betika cross country meet here at the Olkalou Arboretum. Welcome aboard today. We converge here in Nyandarua, a place that has rich history, a place that was named after the big ants, of course, and a place of love. And it's also a place that expects to be buzzing on this day. And as you can see on your screens, it's the 6 kilometers under 20 women's race just about to start. The athletes getting the final instructions from the course officials and we'll be getting underway in a bit. Wherever you are, welcome to Athletics Kenya TV. Bring you another spectacle again here. It's courtesy of Athletics Kenya and Betika. Beautiful images there of these athletes ready to rumble in the forest. Plenty of trees here in Olkalou, making it a very, very special place for these athletes to try out as they do their pre-season, as they try out in the cross country, as they shape up for the upcoming season, and it being the last event of the calendar year 2024 before the break, the festive break. This promises to be a huge, huge day. On the yonder, you can see huge trees in this place. Has the best conducive environments for these athletes to try out. I'm not alone. I'm with Bernard Rotich. We'll be taking you through this. We have 4 races lined up: the 6 kilometers under 20, the 8 kilometers under 20. We have the seniors, the 10 kilometers race coming up, and of course we have 2 more. That is the 2-kilometer loop race, whereby the best performers, of course, will be selected to try out in the national team later on during the trials that will be held at the Ruiru Prison Staff Training College. Quite a number of athletes have attended today's event, not as much as it was in Bomet. Today we are witnessing quite a small number, and that shows you that this is maybe some of them have gone to the festive season, but 1,012 is the number that is expected to participate in this 5th Ak-Betika cross country weekend meet here in Olkalou. As the athletes get ready for start in the under 26 kilometers women's race. Doing the final rituals before the start of this one. Expect some brutal parts in this course. Of course, it's been well marked. Credit to the Athletics Kenya team that worked round the clock to ensure that this course is in the best shape ever. And when I look at this course, I remember Uganda 2017 in Kampala, where they had to wade through trees, through pools of mud, through every thicket, just to ensure that everything is in order. But then today here in Olkalou, a place that has beauty of its own, and we expect fireworks, Bernard.
Yes. Good morning, Lemi. Of course, it's really wonderful. I've never attended a cross country that we are running inside the trees. This must be an interesting one, and I know athletes will love this because they've always competed in a bare land. But today they are inside the trees, inside the forest. This is really amazing. Of course, we expect some fireworks, and as if you said, we've seen a reduced number of athletes. Of course, I think most of the athletes were competing last weekend at the Chepsaita run, where the course was challenging. We can say challenging and punishing. Most of the athletes competed there, so maybe that is why we've seen a few of them competing here today. Of course, it's the 5th edition of the series of Athletics Kenya cross-country events, and of course, the last one will be in January on 4th, that is in Kisii. And of course, most of these athletes are using these races for build-up, and it's a build-up of various events. Of course, we have discipline forces events that are coming up, universities, counties, regional, and then the national events. And the last cross-country, I think, will be the Siriko Classic, which is a World Athletics Tour event. So these athletes are really working hard to make sure that they make a point when they run. They make a name, and of course, they run their personal best in this event. It's a build-up for them also. They're using this as part of build-up. Of course, the 6 kilometers junior race has started so well. Remember Alice? You remember Alice Chemtai from West Pokot? She's here again. Of course, she was second at Kapsokwony cross country, and then of course going to Bomet cross country, she was second. No, Iten, she was second. Going to Bomet, she was second. And of course, she's here again. Will she be able to make it to the podium again? It's a matter of wait and see. Bulemi, as you can see, even the cameramen, they just they can't get a clear picture of the athletes. It's really impressive here. The environment is really good. The good pictures here, and of course I can see the Japanese here. Remember, most of the athletes who come from this region, some of them are here, and of course others are in Japan. I can see the Japanese walking around here. I think they also want to see where these champions are being born. And, I have seen Helen Kalale. She's also in Japan. She'll be running in the senior category. So a number of athletes who are in Japan, and a bigger percentage comes from this region of Nyandarua and Nyahururu, and of course parts of Central. So we expect a good race here today, Mulemi. As you can see, the pictures here, they are so nice. Green, forest, trees everywhere. This is so nice. Amazing.
Indeed, and look at that, of course, as they wear down the course. It's a 2 kilometer course in length, and they'll be doing 3 rounds of this one. The girls in the under 20 category right now on your screens. And you've just talked about the Japanese. We've seen a couple of Japanese athletes warming up outside the track, and just trying to show, just trying to walk around and look at what's happening. You can see them walk pass by. To one of the athletes based in Japan, she's Miriam. She'll be competing in this one later on. Looking at today, not doing the loop, but doing the 10-kilometer senior women's race coming up later on. But then you look at this course, it looks brutal, but then it looks eco-friendly. And just talking to one of the officials who said, and the coaches who said, this is the perfect condition for these athletes to try themselves out, because you look at how well this place has been maintained. It's green, and it has all the necessary conditions to ensure that these athletes today, at least they try out and become better heading into the festive season, because we know on 4th they'll be heading to Kisii before waiting for the disciplined forces races, and then heading to the national trials on February the 8th in the national championship, on February the 8th in Ruiru. But looking at this list here, so many debutants in this one. You can see very new faces. I can see the likes of not Miriam Chipkurui. I can see the likes of Valentine Chebon. She's not been in this one, but Faith Chipkurui, she was there in Iten. She was there in Bomet, and she's trying out here, the lady from South Rift. Maybe she wants to prove a point because we know that all athletes who've been participating in this one are athletes that we can say know exactly what it takes, because not many tracks in the country at the moment, but when they get an opportunity to run in the cross country, then it becomes easy. But that's the leading pack in the 6 kilometers under 20 women that is currently underway, the first major. It was, we had a couple of events earlier on. We had the elderly race, we had the children trying out the course, and of course these are just some of the things that Athletics Kenya is trying to do to ensure that at least there is that inclusivity in this one. We saw in Chepsaita there were so many beautiful races ranging from the under 5s, the under 13s, the under 15s, heading into the seniors, and it was a spectacular day. Contrary to this one, another big day, because here the conditions are quite different. This is a natural course, unlike what we had.
Indeed, it's a natural course here today, and seeing the athletes, as I told you, even the drone cannot get the the athlete competing because of the trees. It's a good place to be. Of course, it's a good race for the athletes. Running in such natural conditions is really good. And talking of, we have Alice Chemtai, who was second in the entire series, and her training mate from, of course, Kipran in Iten, that is Abigail. Both of them are training in Iten. And talking of Alice, she came back from an injury, and when she started doing the races, and she has been on the podium all along. So these are the athletes that of course, we will always follow up and see what they are doing. And of course, this is just part of the build-up ahead of the track season, which is almost starting. And Mulemi, I think as we head to the track season, I think we have a problem. Nyayo Stadium under construction. We are talking of Kasarani under construction, Kipchoge Keino under construction. These athletes need a good training place, especially when they are heading to the World Indoor Championships, because they need track for speed sessions, of course, which is good for them. What do you think?
It's a problem. As of course, these athletes wading through that hurdle. Bernard, what you're saying is really true, and it's a concern. And I believe today you have the opportunity to ask the right questions when the guest of honor will be coming in town. Of course, the Minister of Sports, the Cabinet Secretary, His Excellency Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen will be here to talk about some of the things that really need to be addressed, because I know the athletes are really concerned about how the upcoming season will be, because the track and field season comes into life after February, and that means that we'll have these athletes looking at places where they can actually train, they can actually do these things, because we know that the stadiums are under renovations because of the Africa Nations Championship, that is the CHAN tournament that is coming up in February here in Nairobi. And in Nairobi, rather, today we are in Olkalou. Sorry for that. And Ulinzi Complex, it's under construction. We have the Nyayo National Stadium. Right now, it's under closed under renovation. The Kasarani Stadium, as it stands, they say that it will be ready by January the 10th. So we might fancy our chances of having these athletes train at Kasarani, but then the only option that we have now is the Kasarani Annex. Yeah, and I think that's where most athletes will flock there. But then, looking at the huge number of athletes, I don't think one facility is enough for them. So it's a challenge, and I know the Ministry of Sports will be trying hard to ensure that at least they get one facility ready for these athletes, because the upcoming season in 2025 is a huge one. We got the Meeting-Olkalou Classic coming up in May. We got the national championships. We got the national trials. We got the in the championship trials. I think if some of the races will be, of course, done here, and of course we'll have the World Athletics Championships later on in September in Tokyo, Japan. And I can see Japanese are also coming to Kenya. I think they really want to have that first-hand feeling of what is happening. But this is the 6 kilometers under 20 women race currently underway, and of course, looking at the prize money, the winner expected to walk away with 30,000 shillings. The second place, 20,000 shillings. The 10,000 shillings for the third, and of course, there'll be prizes to the person who finishes 10th.
Yeah, of course, they are now passing ahead of us here, and we have about 10 athletes stuck together. Of course, Alice Jemtai on the lead. Alice, of course, we said she has been on the podium for the last 3 series. Will she also make it today? She has been constant, and of course, she trains in Iten under the Kipran management, one of the new managements in Kenya, and we shall see how things will go. She's also with her training mate, that is Abigail. So today we are, of course, in Olkalou, and this is the 5th series before we head to the festivities, that is for Christmas break, and then in January we'll be back for the last series, that is the 6th series in Kisii, and then of course we'll now head to the counties, and then discipline forces, regional level, and then we'll the cross country will now end at the national level in February. And of course, in February, we also have the World Athletics Cross Country Tour, that is the Gold Tour, that is the Sirikwa Classic in Eldoret. That will be the last event of the cross country event. And after that, we'll now turn to the preparations for of course, we have the World Relay Championships, which will be in China in May. And then we also have athletes who will be preparing for the World Championships in September. That is in Tokyo, Japan. We have a number of series. Of course, we have Diamond Leagues happening, and athletes I know will be preparing for these events. So it's a fully packed season for the athletes. There's no resting. Of course, we have athletes also preparing for various road races events, starting from Tokyo Marathon. That is the major marathons: Tokyo Marathon, London Marathon. We have Boston Marathon, going to Berlin Marathon, Chicago, and New York. Those are actually we have now seven because of the Sydney Marathon in Australia. We have the seven marathon majors. So these athletes, they have opportunities to make a name, and it's a matter of them just to prepare and go for these events and do well.
Halfway through the 6 kilometers under 20 women race that is happening right now, and of course Maureen Cheron of Central still in the lead as they head halfway through this one. It's going to be a brutal race, I know, because you look at the conditions. Looking into what's happening right now, it's like now it's shaping up into a proper race. The crowd also ensuring that there is frenzy and of course pomp in this one. As and remember, after this one we'll have the under 20 8-kilometer race for the men. That will be happening just after this one. And those are the beautiful pictures of Olkalou town, a town that came into life just a couple of years ago, and of course being the county headquarters for the Nyandarua County. And talking about Olkalou, it's a town that was named by the famous Maasai community. That means a place of big ants. But today we are in a place of big trees, of course, here at the Arboretum. Beautiful images there from Olkalou Arboretum. You can see it's like a forest, and I know the athletes who have come to this one are really enjoying the moment here. So coming into this one, the course was of course well marked, and you can see Athletics Kenya has done really well to ensure that all the conditions are as required. And of course the prize money sponsors Betika for coming through and ensuring that there is monetary value for all these athletes who finish in top positions in this race. So beautiful images there as we head towards the end of the first major race of the day, the 6 kilometers under 20 women. And that is the Olkalou Stadium under construction. And I'm sure the residents here will be very excited with the prospects, and everyone will be hoping that this comes to life in a few. And you can see a few coaches there giving instructions to these athletes as they head towards the last 1.5 laps of this race that is currently happening here at the Olkalou Arboretum. If you're joining us, this is the first major race of the day, and you can see Athletics Kenya, the first safeguarding the athletes. Look yonder on the right is Olkalou town, slowly growing up. In 2013, it was barely a town where you could see any buildings, but right now it's really coming into life. Credit to all the economic activities happening, and that is the leading pack in the 20-kilometer senior under 20 women race. The 6 kilometers under 20 women. It's down to 5 with 1 lap to go. As we await for athletes to come through the ticket to the home stretch. I was talking about the prize money courtesy of Betika for the 5th cross-country meet here in Olkalou at the Arboretum. The winner of the 6 kilometers under 20 women will walk away with 30,000 shillings. Second place earning 20,000 shillings, 15,000 shillings for the third place, 10,000 shillings from 4th to 10th. So plenty of goodies here, courtesy of Betika and Athletics Kenya. Right now, neck to neck, as they take that hurdle. Alice Chemtai finishing second in Iten, second in Bomet, and she has a point to prove here right now. Faith Chepkirui also coming through very nicely. So it's between Faith Chepkirui and Alice Chemtai. It is now a battle between Faith and Alice. Alice, remember, finished second in Bomet at Kapkwen Airstrip. So Faith Chepkirui of South Rift, born in 2010. She's here also to try and prove a point and ensure that she's in shape by winning this one before heading to Kisii. So Faith Chepkirui in the lead, Alice Chemutai also coming through in second place. And Faith has grabbed just a few meters ahead. And that's, look at the beautiful, beautiful clouds in the skies. And the forest here at the Arboretum, as we await for Faith Chepkirui or Alice among the 5 leading athletes in this 6 kilometers under 20 women. Will Alice finally win it, or she'll continue the record of finishing second, because she's done it thrice and now she wants to do it better. Remember, after this we have the 8 kilometers under 20 men race coming up. And of course, coming through are some of the athletes who are chasing the leading pack here in the Arboretum. As we await to see where the leading pack is here in Olkalou. Remember, this is the second last weekend cross country meet before the Kisii leg that will be the last for ushering in the Discipline Forces cross country meets, and thereby athletes qualifying for the National Cross Country Championships. For joining us, remember, we are live from Olkalou in Nyandarua County. Yes, and you can feel the athletes are really getting a good environment to try out. The Olkalou, and that is Faith Chepkirui, maintaining a strong lead over Alice Chemtai. Yes, as they head towards the finish of this one. Faith Chepkirui, of course, Alice Chemutai always finishing second. She hoped that she was going to at least win this one, but Faith Chepkurui seems to be a stronger one. That is Faith Chepkurui wading through the forest, and of course she'll be heading to victory in these 6 kilometers under 20 women because she has a healthy lead. Faith Chepkurui, who hails from Nakuru County, is one athlete that many people will be watching in the coming years because of what she's done for the country at a very young age. And there we go, Faith Chepkurui. That is Faith Chepkurui, who will be winning the first race of the day, the 6 kilometers under 20 women. Alice Chemutai will also settle for second, just as she did in Bomet. But there comes Faith Chepkurui, wading through the forest, through the trees, through the breeze, through every hard obstacle, and she'll be coming home to win the 6 kilometers under 20 women, the first major race of the day. And that is Faith Chepkurui. Alice Chemutai will settle for second, but that's Faith Chepkurui, winner of the Olkalou under 20 women 6 kilometer race. And Alice Chemutai, just as she did in Bomet, has claimed second place. And Sandra Chepchumba just edges Emily Wairimu, the home girl, to claim third. So Faith Chepkurui has won the 6 kilometers under 20 women's race here in Olkalou. Alice Chemutai Lotasia in second, and of course Emily Wairimu in third. We'll be heading over to the track side, to the course side, to listen to what the winners have. Over to you, Bernard.
ambao kwamba wewe wanariadha wanaomba kuwatembelea. Pamoja na hayo ni kwamba pindi tu tukihitimisha mbio za kilomita 6 upande wa wanawake walio chini ya umri wa miaka 20 tunapisha wanaume watakaoshiriki kilomita 8 na naona kana kwamba wako upande wa pili.
Namba ngapi huyo mwenye amelala? Niko nayo hii. Namba ngapi? Namba yake ni ngapi?
Basi kumbuka ni makala ya 5 ya Bedika aka Cross Country. Samahani kidogo bwana, watu wa first aid kindly, first aid unatakiwa mahali pa finishing up.
The 6 kilometers under 20 women, and we'll be waiting to hear from these athletes. Alice Chemtai, of course, has a story to tell. Alice Chemtai, remember, she finished second in Bomet, finished second in E10, and she's finished second here. So it's really interesting, and maybe that cutting edge is just missing in this one, as you can clearly see finishing second 3 times is not an easy thing, and of course maintaining her form to the highest level. Alice Chemtai has shown the resilience, has shown the consistency, has shown that she has what it takes to stay up there. And we'll be waiting to hear from these athletes, and of course we'll be having a couple of interviews in this one. And if you're joining us, this is the first major event of the day, the 6 kilometers under 20 women, and we will also have the 6 kilometers, the 8 kilometers under 20 men, the 2 kilometer loop race for both men and women, and of course we'll have the 10 kilometer seniors coming up before finishing the day. And of course we'll be heading down to Bernard Rotich to speak to the winners.
Thank you, Mulemi. Sorry for that technical hitch. Thank you, Mulemi. It was a technical hitch. I'm sorry about that. And then, of course, we have the second position, who is Alice Chemtai. Alice, mbio imekuwa namna gani?
Mbio imekuwa smart. Imekuwa competitive na nimeshukuru uwanja ni smart. Ingine nashukuru management Kipran, wamenisupport sana. Wamenipea ample time ni train. Pia training mates wangu nashukuru. Na wenye tumecompete nao nasema congratulations. Asante.
Kapsokwony, E10, Bomet na hapa leo bado wewe umekuwa kwenye podium position. Labda siri yako ni gani?
Siri yangu ni kupika tu mazoezi. Nikienda Kapsokwony ilikuwa first cross country yangu. Nilishukuru Mungu sana, nime-maintain hadi nimefika hapa namba 2.
Labda unaweza fananisha hii altitude hapa na E10?
Altitude hapa na E10 kuna different kidogo tu, karibu inafanana.
Pongezi. Of course, that was Alice Chemtai, who was, of course, she has been in the podium position since we started the series, and she's happy to have a mighty second here today. And of course, as we wait for the winner to come here, because we missed her interview, that is Celestine. Celestine, labda tuambie, tulikosa sauti yako, labda tuambie mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani?
Mbio ya leo imekuwa mzuri. Nashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu ameniwezesha hadi nikashinda. Sikuwa natarajia nitashinda. Mungu ameniwezesha nikashinda.
Tueleze unafanya mazoezi wapi na unafanya mazoezi na kina nani?
Nafanya mazoezi kwa Kaliet Athletics Camp with coach Bernard Dona na Fedi Cherotich na Fedi Chepkuri na Sandra Chepchumba.
Wewe uko darasa la ngapi?
Darasa la 8.
So labda Faith amekuinspire kufanya vizuri pia, kwa sababu lazima umekuwa ukifuatilia historia yake vile amekuwa akikimbia.
Faith Cherotich amenisaidia, tumefanya naye mazoezi, anani advice, natupa advice, nashukuru.
That was Celestine, who trains in Kaliet, that is in Kericho County, and she's a Form 2. And of course, she said that she's been inspired by Faith Cherotich. Faith Cherotich is the world, actually the Olympics bronze medalist, and of course the winner of this year's Diamond League Series. And of course, she said that she's been inspired by her, and she's going to improve on her training session so that she can continue winning. Of course, the race today is being, we have our main sponsor, that is Betika. Betika is the main sponsor, and of course the county government. Over to you, Molemi.
Wahoji bwana, ni sema wapatie nafasi tu nzuri wa msemezana nao bwana Mwakio.
Ladies giving us a few jigs here, but then we have the interview from I think it is Emily Wairimu, the home girl, who finished third. Over to you, Bernard.
Mic test 1 2.
Thank you, Molemi. I actually number 3, I'm told it's Sandra, and of course she also trains in Kaliet, that is Bernard's Rono's camp. Maybe tuambie majina yako na mbio leo imekuwa namna gani?
Kwa majina ni Sandra Chepchumba. Mbio leo haikuwa mbaya sana.
Labda mazoezi yako ukijitayarisha hii mbio imekuwa namna gani, na umekimbia series gani zingine?
Nimekimbia ISF cross country, nikakuwa position 6. Also nimekimbia East Africa Games 3000 meters.
Labda huo una train na kina nani?
Faith Cherotich.
Na labda ukitrain na Faith, labda amekupea motisha uweze kuendelea kufanya mazoezi zaidi?
Ndio.
Asante sana. Of course, that was Sandra. She also trains in Kaliet, and she was in position 3 today. So over to you, Molemi.
Everyone is talking about Faith Cherotich. Bernard, just before you leave, what inspiration has Faith made to these athletes? Because all of them are talking about her. And of course, Betika inspiring the community through athletics, and they are one of the sponsors for this event, the weekend cross-country meet happening here in Olkalou, in Nyandarua County, a county that is governed by Mr. Honorable Moses Ndirangu Badilisha. And we are here at the Olkalou Arboretum. Yes, Bernard. Yes, you can go ahead.
Faith Cherotich coach, labda atuambie, nimeona wasichana wake wameshinda leo namba 1, namba 3. Labda atuambie alikuwa amewatayarisha vipi. Anza na majina yako coach.
Kwa majina ni coach Bernard Rono from Kaliet Athletics Camp. Coach for Faith Cherotich, also coach wa Celestine Mandaine, Sandra Chepchumba and Faith Chepkirui. Yeah.
Ulikuwa umetayarisha wasichana vipi kwa ajili ya hii mbio?
Kwa matayarisho imechukua muda kwa sababu hii likizo ndio tumechukulia kwa ya manani sana, ndipo sasa tukajitayarisha vizuri. Walikuwa 10 kwa wakati wa Iten hawakuweza kufanya vyema zaidi. Bomet wakafanya vizuri, ambapo Celestine alikuwa nambari wa 11 Bomet, lakini kwa leo ameweza kushinda. Sandra naye amesonga, alikuwa position 5, leo amekuwa position 3.
Hakika hiyo ni improvement ya kutosha. Labda wengi wameongea hapa, wale wawili ambao tumewahoji wanasema mambo ya Faith Cherotich amewa inspire pia. Labda tuelezee mambo haya kidogo.
Ya Faith ameweza kuwasaidia sana kwa saizi kama coach na train youth, kwa maana nikiwa kwa camp pale kazi yangu ni rahisi, kwa maana kwa sababu Faith amekuwa mfano mwema kwao, ndiposa wanawafuata na wanajaribu kukaa vile Faith anakaa kimazoezi, kila kitu yani. Yeah.
Asante sana coach na pongezi. That was labda ni kama ako na jambo moja la mwisho.
La mwisho na shukuru Eke Athletics Kenya kwa kuwa wako na ratiba mzuri kwa wakati huu. Tunaona especially kwa upcoming athletes they are doing very good, na tunaomba wazidi kukaa hivyo, kufanya hivyo, na zaidi ya yote tunaombea mema na Christmas njema na mwaka mpya mwenye mafanikio. Asante.
Asante sana. That was Faith Cherotich coach, and of course from that is from Kaliet camp. Of course I've seen also Dr. Byron here from Kipran, but he's doing another interview. Maybe we'll talk to him later. Over to you, Mulemi.
As we await for the start of the under 28 kilometer senior men's race, under 20 men's race. It is a race that comes up in a bit, and it is the second major event of the day, the 8 kilometers under 20 men race. Those are the results. Celestine Mantaine winning in the 6 kilometers under 20 women race in a time of 23 minutes 14 seconds. Alice Chemutai for the third time. Actually, it is the fifth time finishing second in this under 20 women's race. She's finished second in Machakos, in Kapsokwo, in Iten, in Olkalou. Chumba coming in third, 23 minutes 35 seconds. Faith Jep Kirui from South Rift, 23 minutes 39 seconds, and Mercy Jelimo, 23 minutes 44 seconds. So those are the top 5 finishers. And remember, Celestine Mantaine winning 30,000 shillings, and of course Alice for the second time winning 15,000 shillings, and the third of course coming up with winning 15,000 shillings, and from 4th to 10th they'll be walking home with 10,000 shillings. Traditional dancers, of course, entertaining the crowd here at the Arboretum.
Tafadhali kama mnakuta ID yenye majina Esther Murugu, Gladys Kemboi, tafadhali niletee. Kama mnakuta IDs maana Esther Murugu na Gladys Kemboi, niletee hizo IDs. Zinamuka hapa tu wakifanya kazi hapa. Bado tunangojea mbio za under 20 men. Kumbuka shule hili litaka kuanza ni 50. Niko na ID ya Penina Mugure Kangiri. Niko na ID inayokotwa hapa. ID ya Mugure imepatikana kwa kuwasiliana ama sio karibu na Uganda kwa kama wako na ID zingine tuletee. Kuna ID za watu wawili. Mugure alikimbia 2 kilomita kule. Nakumbuka. Kuna ID ambazo zinaruka kule pia tuleteni. Kuna ID za watu wawili pia. Tafadhali mwenye ako in charge na medical, tafadhali mmoja mwana Kimeto, yule ako in charge na masuala ya medical. Kama unasikia tafadhali ona bwana Kimeto. Bwana Dennis na Baiti wako hapa. Nasema asanteni Baiti na Dennis. Dennis ni mwambia mfupi na loko mfupi. Bado dakika 8. We still have 8 more minutes remaining for the final of under 20 men. Vile hapa tupoke kwa wanariadha amekuja kwenda katika ile tenti Adam ili mpate kuwa ndio kwamba msome how to win clean and win right. Muhimu ujue ni niaba ya saa ufai kutumia ili nifatu baje kusini kusaidia wewe wanariadha. Bado tunasubiri kuanza kwa kilomita 8 upande wanaume wenye umri wa chini ya miaka 20. Hili kwa sasa tunapata burudani kabambe na kabambe kutoka kwa one man guitar. Alright. Haya basi kuna hawa walioshiriki kilomita 6 women. Wale walioshiriki kilomita 6 women, yule aliyechukua nafasi ya 6, 7 na 10. The one who took position 6, 7 and 10, there are some details that are required from you at the recording desk. Kwa hivyo tafadhali washiriki wa kilomita 6 upande wa kina dada, aliyechukua nafasi ya 6, 7 na 10, kuna
mambo ya sports ndio tutapata. Na mimi nataka niwaambie shule kama tutapata wacheza mpira
baada ya muda mwingi tunakwenda kushuhudia mwanzo wa kilomita 8 wale wa wanaume walio chini ya umri wa 20.
Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, His Excellency Onesmus Chumba Murkomen, paying a visit to Olkalou Secondary and checking on the Athletics Kenya training camp that is hosted there. As we see on our screens, the under 28 kilometer race just about to begin. But then His Excellency Onesmus Chumba Murkomen
looking at our policy so that we have a clarity on the path of growth for these athletes. Na mimi nataka niwaambie nyinyi kama vijana wetu, ya kwanza mimi nataka nyinyi msitize ya kwamba hakuna ile ya zamani yenye ilikuwa inasema uachane na talanta ufanye masomo, na hakuna pia kusema uachane na masomo ufuate talanta. Hapana, yote inaenda concurrently. Nimekuja hapa kuwahimizia nyinyi ya kwamba tunajali masomo yenu na tunajali talanta yenu, and I want all of you wenye wako hapa mnipatie hakikisho leo kwamba mtaendelea na kujifunza kukimbia, lakini mtatia bora pia kwa mambo ya masomo. Tumekubaliana mpaka hapo? Wangapi wanasema namna hiyo? Ndio unaona in the sports department, in fact in other countries, hata jirani hapa Uganda, Ministry of Sports inaitwa Ministry of Education and Sports, because sports must go through education. There is a combination ya mambo ya education na sports. Mimi nataka kusisitiza hapa kabisa ya kwamba muendelee na masomo yenu, hata kama umemaliza form 4 aanze kufikiria ni college gani utaenda, na sisi tunaweka policy in place so that all our schools and colleges can give a clear career path, including scholarships for those who are our athletes. Kwa sehemu ya pili, nyinyi ni tegemeo letu. Masomo na talanta ambayo mko nayo, lazima niseme talanta, itaharakisha sana kubadilisha maisha yenu. Na haiwezekani kukuza hiyo talanta vizuri kama utafuata maagizo ya mwalimu yenu ya michezo, na pia kama hautakuwa na ile tunaita discipline. Najua tangu mkiwa watoto wadogo mnaambiwa tu discipline, lakini hiyo ndio kila kitu kwa maisha. Hata sisi wenye tuko siasa hatuwezi fika mahali, hata wenye tuko naongoza serikali hakutafika mahali if we don't become discipline. Discipline ni kila kitu. Na mimi naomba nyinyi kila mtu ufuate ile unaambiwa. Muachane na madawa ya kulevya. Muachane na vitu yenye anakuambia kuna kitu nikikupatia utakimbia sana. Please, doping is a problem in our country because some people are taking advantage of young people. Tunataka hii camp, kwa hii camp najua mnafunzwa kitu apart from training ya vile mtacheza, mnafunzwa pia mambo ya doping, anti-doping. Na sisi tunataka kusema we want our young people to run clean. Tayari saa hizi Mungu amebariki nyinyi. Kwa kuishi sehemu hii peke yake, mko na ile inaitwa yani ile lungs yenu iko strong kwa sababu mmezoea kusurvive na oxygen dogo kwa high altitude. Na ukifanya tu training vizuri, ukifika huko sea level, ukienda kushindana na wazungu watahema, wewe saa hizi Mungu amekubariki already by virtue of where you are. So usiingize mambo ingine useme ati unataka dawa ya kukusaidia kukimbia. Hapana, we are fighting doping and we want to make sure that doping is a thing of the past. We don't want that to spoil the name of Kenya because we already have talent, and our athletes ambao walienda mbele yetu wenye walianzisha mambo ya kukimbia kwa Kenya wao kutuweka kwa aibu. Sikuwe ni sisi ndio tunaweka aibu. Ya tatu ni kusema ya kwamba sisi tuko na program ya kuprotect our athletes. Tunafanya kazi na AK, we have a protection program, na mnaona kwamba apart from the male coaches, unaona female coaches wako hapa. Tumeweka policy in place ya kuhakikisha kwamba aswa nyinyi wakimbiaji wasichana, hatutaki mtu achukue advantage yenu aseme kwamba ati kuna kitu inaitwa sexual abuse, ambayo kuna watu wanakuja kusema nataka kuwa coach, nataka kuwa manager, na anataka kuteka advantage ya msichana mwenye ameona ako na talanta, anataka kujifanya yeye ni coach, lakini anafanya mambo ingine kupotezea nyinyi maisha yenu. Mimi nataka niwaambie ya kwamba you have a right to continue your career without giving anybody sexual favors when you are in your career, and that is something we are very firm on. Tumeelewana? We are very firm. Tumetengeneza ofisi pia katika wizara ya mambo ya gender protection ndio ipatie nyinyi a right, na soon tuta launch with one of the service providers ya telecoms. Tuta launch toll free number yenye ukikuwa na shida yoyote, kama ni sexual abuse, kama ni mambo ya gender violence, kama unaishi na watu ambao wanakutarget kwa mambo ya kuumiza, sisi tunakupatia toll free number, na tuta circulate your number kwa across all our sports, whether it is football, whether it is whatever, tuhakikisha kwamba mko nayo, ili ukiwasikia tu shida unapiga simu unasema I'm being targeted by these people. Now this is a problem. Hii violence is a problem that we want to deal with and deal it with finality. Ya tatu nataka niseme kwamba sisi pia tunafanya kazi na Ministry of Interior. Ukiona deputy county commissioner wako hapa na security team, is so that you are safe. You are safe. Tuko hapa na watu ya intelligence, tuko hapa na investigations. Ukiwa na shida yote, report to next police station. Next police station. Polisi asipokusikia, enda kwa DO. Ule anaitwa assistant county commissioner ama deputy county commissioner. Yeye ndio anasimamia mambo ya security kwa constituency yenu. Work together. If you cannot, enda kwa mwalimu. If you mwalimu, enda kwa governor. Always be free to speak to someone who is senior. Usibebe mzigo wewe peke yako. Hata kama uko na shida inakusumbua, because the other problem with this generation you are facing is there is a lot of mental health issues. But if you are training like this na unacheza vizuri, inakusaidia pia with your mental health. But if the other things yenye nakusukuma, ongea na watu wenye wako, mwalimu, protection officer, coach women, coach men. Make sure that you have somebody you can confide in life. Usiwei kuchukua maisha kwa mkono yako wewe mwenyewe. Kwa hivyo tuko hapa kwa encourage. Nilipokuja wizara juzi nilisema saa hizi tusiweke hii tournaments. Unajua kuna watu wengine wanauliza kwa nini waziri asitupangie tu hii tournament ya kila mahali? Hapana, tulisema hiyo tournament ziko na enough. Saa hizi governor hapa na team ya AK wamepanga cross country yenye inaendelea, hao watapanga hiyo, lakini nilitaka pia tuweke bidii mambo ya training ya young people. Mwaka huu tumeweka 3000, pia tumeweka another 3000 through Kenya Academy of Sports, wanafunga leo, ambao sasa hao wana train rugby, football, wana pick all the students. Saizi tuko na camp Nairobi, tuko na ingine Mombasa, tuko na ingine Kisumu, tuko na ingine Eldoret, tuko na 3000 kwa all the disciplines across the country. Mwaka kesho tuta double ikuwe 10,000 young people watakuwa kwa makam. Yeah? Na tukidouble hiyo ikuwe 10,000, tuta double hata hii ya athletics, at least we move from 3,000 to 5,000, so that we have as more athletes kwa camps as possible. Unajua wanasema ukiona vyaelea vimeundwa, lazima tuunde sisi wenyewe. You know, kama wa Kenya as a government in the past tumekuwa tu tukifurahia kusema ya ule amevunja rekodi, lakini there is no contribution. Why we are doing what we are doing now is so that when you are running for your country, unajua your country also contributed to your success. Sinamna hiyo, isikuwe tu ni kwamba wewe umeng'ang'ana peke yako umewachwa. Tunataka your country has contributed when you are in school, as your country has contributed when you are in camps like this. Mheshimiwa Governor, tutaenda pamoja kuangalia ile uwanja ya Olkalou. I know rais alikuwa ametoa directive ya kufanya pamoja na county government, ndio tukubaliane ni njia gani tutapitia kusaidiana kumaliza hiyo uwanja. Ina uwanja ya maana zaidi Governor. Unajua kuna watu wengi wanang'ang'ana uwanja ikuwe na roof ile mzuri, ikuwe na terrace iko mzuri, hiyo ni sawa. But the most important thing kwa uwanja ni uwanja yenyewe. You know, hata kama ni open place kama hii, hata kama ni open place like this na iko na tartan ile mzuri, itasaidia our athletes. So we must start, unaona hata wanafurahia. We must start by focusing on the pitch first. What is the tartan yenye wana run na what is the grass yenye wanachezea kwa sports ya football, rugby and the rest. Alafu tuendelee tukijenga the wall, you know. But if we don't start with the tartan, uliona jana President Museveni alienda kufungua tu uwanja kwa Kapchorwa huko yenye iko open to a field, hakuna wall, hakuna anything. But the most important thing, they are very good tartan and running track with a very good steeplechase nini. Our country sometimes we like so much pictures ya kitu kubwa ya sijui ati wanakaa watu 30,000 40,000 na ni you know white elephant in a place where hata hakuna 30,000 fans watakuja hapo. It's good to start with the pitch itself, and I think we will talk with you to tuone, even if we are facing the construction, how is the pitch yenye kuchezea mpira and how is the track, and whether you know, because this is a high altitude area, ndio tusaidia hawa vijana wajitrain kwenda kusonga mbele. Mimi najua kwamba, and this is let me say this as a nationalist, ukiona saa zingine unaona tu mumewacha athletics tu itoke huko, sijui lazima kuwe Iten wapi, na hapa ni high altitude kama huko Iten, kama huko Eldoret, kama we should be producing Wanjiru kutoka hapa, kama Wajiru walitoka hapa, we should be producing Ngugi mwingine hapa, we should be producing Catherine derevas wengine. Yani we have the potential in Mount Kenya region, let me say this, because of high altitude, from here all the way to Meru, to produce also very serious group of athletes wenye sasa itaongeza the pool of athletes in our country iende juu. Yeah, na mimi nataka kuambia AK wa hii region tushikane pamoja, tupatie hawa nafasi ya si ati hapa tu. Unajua hii sehemu ya huku tunajivunia kama ni sehemu ya biashara. Si biashara pekee yake, tunaweza kimbia pia. Ya, tunaweza kuhakikisha kwamba hawa vijana wetu, unajua wengi wakiwa wadogo wanasema mimi nimekuwa sasa mkubwa, naenda kufanya biashara yangu, nimeenda kuuza nini. Sasa hawa pia wanaweza kimbia kama vile tunajua kina John Ngugi na others walifanya. So kwa hivyo mimi nimefurahi sana nikiwa hapa, niko nyumbani na niko na furaha na nyinyi. Tunawapenda, tunawasupport. Sasa mimi nataka kusikia kutoka nyinyi kidogo. Mmesikia kutoka mimi, si ndio? Yeah? Nataka nisikie kutoka nyinyi, 1 or 2 of you, nione kampi kwa aje, mngetaka tuendelee nini pamoja. Bas, asante sana. Unaitwa nani? Lea Mudhoni. Kupatia.
Thank you. Sasa ingine gani? Na waziri ameongea. Ingine gani? Mmefurahi? Pigia makofi tafadhali. Hawana tulisema hiyo ni ya kawaida tu. Ya waziri tunafanya ile ya kuangusha. Kusema asante kwa yale yote ambayo hatuwezi ongea hapa siku ya leo. Tuangushe. Thank you. Now quickly, because we are almost ending our program, wacha tusikie kwa wenyewe wale ambao wame benefit. Bwana Waziri, allow me 1 second nitaje kwamba kulingana na huu msaada kutoka kwako kwa ofisi yako, ile tunaangazia sana ni development of skills at a very tender stage, under 20, so that kama ni biwa kupokezana vijiti for example, wanajua ni mkono gani, ndio wakifika senior level watakuwa na nyorocha kabisa. Na within it ni mambo kama coordination of the body parts, so that they can execute skills in the right manner. Wacha tusikie kwa moja wao, alafu kijana kwa wapi? Haraka 5 seconds. Karibu. Umefurahi? Karibu sana.
Our CS, our Vice President of AK, our Governor, officers, wageni wetu, our coaches, and my fellow teammates. Good morning. First of all, we thank God. Tunafurahia kwa sababu ni asubuhi njema. Pia tunafurahia CS kwa kutupea chance ya kukua kwa hii camp. Tunafurahia zaidi kwa sababu ni wengi wametamani kuwa hapa, lakini sisi tumepata chance. We are happy. Second, as girl child, sisi pia tumefurahia cause ni dangers nyingi zinakuanga huko nje. But tukiwa huku, we are safe. Tuko safe kwa sababu ukiangalia like we have our moms there. They are taking care of us. Our moms mameni. They are our moms pia. Tunafurahia kwa sababu wanatusupport. Thank you for supporting us, and we are hoping you will continue supporting us. And may God bless you, and we love you. Thank you. Kama jina naitwa Lea Muthoni Thuo. Event yangu ni 1500 meter.
Our CS, our chairperson, our governor, our coaches, my teammates, good morning. Our CS, our governor,
Stretch.
our
Evans gave what, of course, in the lead. Silas Centura closing by. It's a neck-to-neck race at the moment as the athletes head towards the last few meters of this one. Remember, we are live from Olkalou in Nyandarua County for the Athletics Ak-Betika Cross Country Weekend Meet, and it's the 5th after the Machakos, Cups of Kwon, Iten, Bomet, and now this one. Remember, there are 6 meets, of course, courtesy of Athletics Kenya and Betika. And we are now here for the 5th one. The 6th one, of course, will be on 4th of January in Kisii County. So Evans Kipkosgei Biwott, of course, did wonders in Chepsaita last weekend. Here, Silas Centura still hanging in there. Remember, this is the last lap of the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. Earlier, we had the 6 kilometer race for women. We've been listening to a few insights from the Sports Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, at the Olkalou Athletics Kenya training camp. Remember, after this, we'll have the 2 kilometers loop women's race. And now Evans Kipkosgei Biwott stealing the lead, getting a few strides ahead of Silas Centura. 4 more athletes chasing the 2 leading athletes. Evans Kipkosgei Biwott, of course, winner of the Chepsaita cross-country run, if I'm not wrong. And He's here trying to replicate that good performance at the beautiful, beautiful Arboretum here in Olkalou, Nyandarua County.
Mulemi, maybe seeing the cabinet secretary for sports, maybe.
And they intend to do this. Remember, the cabinet secretary for sports is also the cabinet secretary for youth affairs and creative arts. So these are some of the things he'll be looking at and saying that there's talent in Nyandarua County who are also sponsoring this 5th edition of the Athletics Kenya Betika National Cross Country
Evans Ak-Betika wanakuja sasa, msimamisho huo, wanakuja mara kabisa. Bado walipopita kule alikuwa anaongoza, bado alikuwa huyo amani Kevin Kiprop Biot. Ya kwanza pia alikuwa ni Sana Centura. Nafasi tatu alikuwa Kipokei Biot. Haya, ndio anakuja hapa sasa bwana huyo. Huyo ni bwana Kevin Kiprop Biot ndio huyo. Bali kabisa. Nyuma naona anakuja hapa Asende jamani. Sana Centura ndio huyo. Ya pili ndio huyo. Ya tatu akokule nyuma anakuja 17 amani Evans Kipokei Biot. Haya. Watu wanaenda kumaliza sasa. Wanaenda kumaliza sasa. Safi. Anakuja huku chini kabisa. Taka wewe. Kabisa.
That also tried really hard to ensure that everything that he did turned into a podium finish. He's really steamed away from the rest of the pack, and that is the winner of the 8 kilometers under 20 men, Daniel Kelvin Kiprop Biwot. 2 podium finishes inside a week makes it really special, and he's done it in Olkalou just as he did it in Chepsaita, and that is the man who comes in second place. That is Silas Centura of Naibosho Training College. Evans Kipkosgei Biwot claiming third. Cornelius Kipkosgei coming in fourth. Of course, we'll be waiting to hear from the man of the moment, Kelvin Kiprop Biwot. And Bernard, if you're ready, you can take it away.
Thank you, Mulemi. Of course, we have the winner here today, and this is Kevin. Kevin, naona umekimbia vizuri sana. Ulikuwa nyuma alafu lap ya mwisho ukaweza kusonga mbele. Labda nini ilikuwa inafanyika hapa?
Niliweza kuona niko nambari 5 lakini nikakimbia mpaka nikashika nambari 1.
Of course Kevin, wewe ndugu yako mkubwa Soget amekuwa akikimbia vizuri. Labda yeye ndiye alikufanya ukaanza kukimbia?
Ndiye aliweza kunifanya nikimbie. Nikafuata venye anapiga mazoezi ili mpaka niweze nikimbie vizuri.
Ulishinda Iten, ukashinda Chepsaita. Labda ni mbinu gani umekuwa ukifanya pale training ili uweze kufanya vyema?
Niliweza kupiga mazoezi vizuri na nikaweza kuchukua nambari 1.
Pongezi sana. Asante. Of course, Mulemi, we have another athlete here who was second, that is Silas. Silas, pongezi, labda tuambie mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani na unafanya mazoezi wapi?
Mbio ya leo ilikuwa safi sana. Nimeng'ang'ana na training Ngong and coach Gideon Rono. Yeah. Labda
hii mbio ulikuwa umejitayarisha vipi?
Nilikuwa nimejitayarisha nibebe lakini si rahisi.
Na of course mwaka ambao tunaenda mambo ya track events inaanza pia. Labda unataka kukimbia mbio gani labda track events?
Kwa track na kimbianga 5000 na naomba Mungu atanijalia. Yeah.
Pongezi sana. Asante. And of course tuko na mwanariadha ambaye alikuwa namba 3. Labda anza na jina lako alafu tuambie unafanya mazoezi wapi na mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani?
Kwa majina naitwa Evans Kipkosgei Biwot. Mbio haikuwa mbaya leo. Ni ile nilikuwa nataka kuchallenge brother yangu huyo namba 1.
Yule ambaye amekuwa nambari 1 ni ndugu yako. Mnafanya mazoezi naye?
Tunafanya katika Sinoni camp.
So, ulikuwa unataka kuchallenge ndugu yako?
Nilikuwa nataka kuchallenge leo. Nione kama nitajaribu kupatia yeye kuchallenge yeye.
Of course Amos, ndugu yenu mkubwa pia ni mkimbiaji, Justus Soget. labda mulichukua labda mnataka kufuata labda example yake?
Tunataka kufuata nyayo zake. Na pia babangu. Kwa sababu alikuwa mkimbiaji pia yeye.
Babako anaitwa nani?
Christopher Soget.
So labda baba ndiye amewasukuma ili muweze kukimbia.
Kwa sababu yeye ameenda retire tukashikilia yeye.
Pongezi sana na all the best. Asante. Of course, Mulemi, it's really interesting as you've heard. That is, those were siblings, and the younger one was saying that he wanted to challenge the elder one. Of course, Kelvin. And it's really interesting because another elder brother, that is Justus Soger, is an athlete, and of course is based in Japan. And they are really doing well. And of course, they are preparing for the upcoming season, which is the track event. So over to you, Mulemi, maybe as we continue waiting for other interviews.
A very interesting story there of two brothers finishing on the podium. Of course, Kelvin Kiprop winning the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race in a time of 26 minutes 11 seconds. Silas Centura coming in second, and Kelvin's brother Evans Kipkosgei 26 minutes 34 seconds finishing in third. Cornelius Kosgei in fourth place 26 minutes 39 seconds, and Nehemiah Kipngeno 26 minutes 44 seconds. So Kelvin is the winner and is the elder brother of Evans Kipkosgei, who's just told us that he wanted to emulate what Kelvin did, because Kelvin, we all know, won the Chepsaita great cross country run last weekend. Is come here at Olkalou and of course done exactly the same by winning the 5th edition of this cross country weekend meet, the Athletics Kenya Betika cross country weekend meet here at the Olkalou Arboretum, and that is the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race. And of course Kelvin wins 30,000 Kenya shillings, and Silas Centura 20,000 shillings, and Kelvin's brother Evans walks away with 10,000 Kenya shillings, and it is 10,000 shillings each for the 4th to 10th finishers in this race, courtesy of Betika, who are the official sponsors of this meet. Not forgetting the Nyandarua County for hosting this event here at the Arboretum. Everything that is being done here is being done in perfect conditions, no complaints whatsoever. And of course, this is courtesy of the Nyandarua County government. And earlier on, of course, we had the CS of sports, of course, youth affairs, creative arts, and Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, speaking to athletes at the Athletics Kenya camp here in Olkalou, and a couple of insights coming out of that interview, rather that talk that he had with the athletes. And if you're joining us, we'll be done with the 8 kilometers under 20 men's race that is here currently. Some of the athletes finishing just to make sure that they earn those very important points that will help them gain a higher ranking in the pecking order in the future events. The 6 kilometer race was held earlier on, and it's a race that was won by Celestine Mantaine. She was closely followed by Alice Chemtai, who's finished second. She's finished second in 4 occasions. So she's one athlete that people will be talking about in the coming days and the coming weeks, the coming months, and of course in the future. The 8 kilometers under 20 men's race currently going on here. After that, we'll have the 2 kilometers loop race for women before ushering in the senior 10 kilometer race women, the 2 kilometer loop race for the men, and also the 10 kilometer senior race for women. We'll be giving you interviews as they come by, and of course plenty of entertainment courtesy of the Nyandarua County government. If you're joining us, this is the Ak-Betika cross country. We can meet here at Olkalou, and it is the 5th leg. Remember, after this we'll have the festive break before heading to Kisii on 4th of January, the first event of the calendar year 2025. Of course, we are talking about the 5th leg after witnessing the Machakos edition. We went to Kapsakwony, we went to Iten, we went to the Kapkwen airstrip in Bomet, and now we are here at the Olkalou Arboretum, Nyandarua County. The junior races have just ended, and it's time for the seniors to try out, and we'll begin the 2-kilometer loop race as we await for the start. We'll be getting a couple of interviews in between, including the big interview we had with Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen. I'm also being informed that the governor of Nyandarua County will be in attendance. And we're talking about Nyandarua County, which is located in the central region of Kenya, with the headquarters right here in Olkalou, and it is 150 kilometers northwest of Nairobi. And the governor of Nyandarua County is His Excellency Dr. Moses Badilisha Kiarie. And Nyandarua County, of course, has an area of square meters 3,245, and lies 8 degrees north and 5 degrees south to the south. And of course, several wards here in Nyandarua County. On your screen, of course, is Nyandarua Town, and of course the under renovation Olkalou Stadium. Nyandarua County has 5 wards in Karau, Kanjuire, Rije, Mangarin, Kiambaga, and Ruri. That is Olkalou. In Oljororok, we have 4 wards: Gatanji, Gatimu, Charagita. In Kipipiri, Wanjohi, Kipipiri, Geta, and Githioro. And in Kinangop, we have Engineer, Gatara, North Kinangop, Murungaru, Jambini, Nyakio, Magumu, and Katabai. This is Olkalou Town, the county headquarters for Nyandarua, place where we are having the Athletics Kenya Betika 5th cross-country weekend meet. And talking about Nyandarua, of course, according to the 2019 census report, a population of 638,289 people, with, of course, the female more than the men, 50.6, with the youth comprising 32% of the population. The major economic activity in this area, of course, farming, agroforestry, tourism, and trade. And Olkalou is a Maasai name, meaning a place of big ants. And some of the entertainers, traditional dancers, who are actually spicing up some of this traditional dancers spicing up the event, dancing to the songs in the background, making sure that the day is a memorable one. Just going through the results: Kevin Kiprop winning in a time of 26 minutes and 11 seconds. His brother Evans coming in third, and Silas, of course, coming in second. And of course, we'll be waiting to see if there are any representatives from this, the sponsors, Betika, Athletics Kenya, of course, and the Nyandarua County government. And I'm sure Bernard Rotich on the other side will be trying to see if he can grab one or two interviews on this one. As we await for the start of the 2-kilometer loot press, 38 athletes in this one. Naomi Korir, winner in Kapkwen Bomet. She'll be aiming to make it a double here in Olkalou. Remember, she comes from Central Rift. Naomi Korir. Viola Jebet is also here together with Purity Silantoi, Chepchumba Namglorious, who was in Machakos. Lilian Odira is also in the mix. Of course, Sarah Mora, the 800 meters junior champion. There's also Sylvia Chesebe. Look at them waiting anxiously. There's Joan Chepkemo in this one. And I can see a couple of Japanese athletes also going to try out in the 2-kilometer loop press. That is the women loop press here at the Ak-Betika cross country weekend meet in Olkalou. As we await for the start of the 2-kilometer loop race, and I'm being informed by Manya that Naomi Korir finished 10th in the Chepsaita Great Cross Country Run a week after winning the Bomet edition of the Athletics Kenya Betika Cross Country Weekend Meet. Bernard, in your perusals, what have you witnessed? And I can see.
Yeah, of course, it's getting bigger and interesting. But what I want to talk about, Mulemi, is the 2-kilometer loop. You know, many people might be wondering why the 2-kilometer loop. Of course, under the World Cross Country Championships, Of course, I've seen the dignitaries here. The governor Nyandarua County has arrived and will be gracing the event. I think they will be here with the sports cabinet secretary. That is more common. We are waiting to see. We can't get clear pictures from where we are. But I was saying the 2-kilometer loop it helps to identify the best athletes to field at the mixed relay, which normally happens at the World Cross Country Championships and of course the Africa Cross Country Championships. Of course, that is the governor, Nyandarua County, going to start off the 2-kilometer race. We shall be talking to him maybe later after that, so that we can be able to know how, of course, and of course we have the sports cabinet secretary. I'm told he is not here yet. Of course, that is the governor Nyandarua County. I was talking about the 2-kilometer loop that we are almost starting. And if you are if you can follow clearly, people like we have now Chepchumba now Glorious, we have Miriam Cherop, Wanjiku Karany. Athletes running 800 meters, and of course they're using this event as part of build-up. Remember, Naomi Korir won the last two series. Will she be able to maintain that and win even this race here today? Is the altitude favorable for her? Has she trained maybe to meet the conditions here today? Because maybe she runs at hot conditions or humid areas. Maybe will she be able to make it? But again, I can talk about her because she ran at the Chepsite a great cross-country run where she was in 10th position in 10 kilometers. That tells you how these athletes really work hard. And of course, the 2-kilometer loop women's race has started off well. We are waiting to see who will be able to emerge the winner here today. Remember, Naomi Korir managed to win in Iten, and of course went ahead also to win in Bomet cross country. And of course, this is the 5th leg or the 5th series here in Olkalou Nyandarua. Will she be able to also win today? We are waiting to see if she'll be able to beat the home girls here today.
It is the 2 kilometers loop women race, expecting fireworks, and of course it's been flagged off by the governor of Nyandarua County, His Excellency Moses Badilisha Kiarie. On your picture right now, that is the county governor of Nyandarua, Honorable His Excellency Moses Badilisha Kiarie. And we talked about the 2-kilometer loop race, a race that has a lot of big names. Naomi Jerop Korir aiming to do a hat-trick in this one. Viola Jebet from Central Rift hoping to make a mark on this one. Sarah Mora, the national junior 800 meters champion, aiming to make a mark also. Jen Wangari Waweru, she's been impressive in all the legs. We have the likes of Miriam Cherop, Joyce Biwot, Faith Chepkirui, Joanne Chepkemoy, Beatrice Waindi, Dorothy Gaki, another household name in this one. Abigail Chepngetich. It is one lap of this one. This is going to be very, very, very interesting. As we see, the crowd already on their feet. Looking at this race, we don't know who is the clear favorite to win this one. Naomi Korir finished 10th during the Chepsite great cross-country run last time out, but she's had back-to-back wins in this one, the 2-kilometer loop women race in Kapsokwony, and in Iten, sorry. Then did it in Bomet, and now she's aiming to do a hat-trick of this one, winning 3 in a row. Will she do it? She's specialized in this one. Remember, if you're joining us, we're live from Olkalou, Nyandarua County, and you can see Governor Kiarie enjoying music. The traditional dancers here at the Arboretum. As we shift focus to the 2-kilometer loop women race, that is one lap of this one. The gaps slowly growing in the ticket. Nam Glorious is also a name to watch in this one, but we talked about Naomi Korir. She'll be aiming to finish first also in this one, having won in Cup Queen and E10. Easing through that bend. And that is Sarah Mora in on the right side of the picture. Can see she's trying really hard to maintain with the leading pack. Of course, this is her first cross-country race of the season. Podium finishers in the 8-kilometer under 20 men. Kelvin Biwott, of course, winning that run in a time of 26 minutes 34 seconds, and he'll be awarded by the Governor of Nyandarua, His Excellency Moses Badilisha Kiarie. But first of all, it is Evans Kipkosgei Biwott who came in third. He'll be walking home with 15,000 Kenya shillings, courtesy of Betika. Silas Centura of Sonait Training Camp, 20,000 Kenya shillings, finishing in second. And the winner, of course, Evans, it's Kevin Kirop Biwott, the elder brother to Evans Biwott. The two winners from one family, Silas Centura in between. And that's how it is, the under 28-kilometer race. As we shift focus to the 2-kilometer loop race for women, that is in the home stretch as the photo sessions continue. The leading pack, of course, Lilian Odira came in third in Cup Queen. She's currently fourth. Sarah Mora just fallen back. I think she's in sixth. That hurdle, that is Sarah Mora. She's currently in fifth place, trying to catch up with the leading athletes. Miriam Charop, she's also in the mix. You can see Naomi Korir really trying hard to ensure that she gets the hat-trick that has been elusive. Lilian Odira now in third. Remember, it's only one lap on the course. That is Naomi Korir. Now falling to second, Lilian Odira in third. Lilian Odira, the national 800 meters champions, now hits the front. Naomi Korir responds perfectly. So it's a battle between Naomi and Lilian. Naomi really determined to win this one after finishing 10th in Chepsaita. As they head towards the final stretch of this one, Naomi Korir, will she make it 3 out of 3? She sprints away from Lilian Odira, and it will be 3 for this superstar, Naomi Korir. The 2-kilometer loop women race for the third time. Lilian Odira claims second place. What a joy for this lady from Central Rift. Miriam Cherop comes in third. So it's Naomi Korir making it 3 out of 3 at the Betika Cross Country Weekend Meet here in Olkalou. She won it in Iten. She won it in Kapkwen. She's won it in Olkalou. And there comes Sarah Mora. Didn't really have a good outing there, having run her first cross-country meet of the season. Joyce Biwott also coming through. And now we'll be speaking to the lady of the moment, Naomi Korir. 3 out of 3 in the cross-country. Over to you, Bernard.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. Of course, we have the winners here today, and for the third time running, Naomi Korir, umeweza kushinda. Labda unajisikiaje na labda ulikuwa umejitayarisha aje juu ya hii mbio?
Kwa sasa nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu nimewin 3 consecutive 2-kilometer loop. Nafurahi sana. Yeah.
So hii 2-kilometer loop inakusaidia wewe aje kama mwanariadha?
Imenisaidia sana pakubwa kwa endurance na inani prepare nikuwe na endurance kubwa kwa sababu ni past 800 meters. Yeah.
Of course, mwaka ujao tuko na World Indoors na tuko na World Championships. Labda malengo yako ni gani?
Malengo yangu kwa sasa ni kufocus qualification ya World Championship. Yeah. Nadhani ni hiyo tu kwa sasa.
Asante sana. Huyo ni Naomi Korir. That's Naomi Korir who has taken a lead for the last 3 series, and she's so happy. Of course, we have also Lilian Odira. Labda Lilian, utuambie mbio imekuwaje leo?
Mbio imekuwa vyema. It has been a good race and we thank God for that. Yeah.
Of course, you are an 800 meters athlete, and you've competed in a 2-kilometer loop. How was it for you, and why 2-kilometer loop?
Okay, I'm doing this for build-up. 800 needs endurance at the same time speed. So I'm just here for endurance, preparing for the World Championship. God willing, I'm wishing to be among those who will be going to Tokyo. So I'm just doing this for build-up. Yeah.
Thank you so much and all the best. And of course, we have the third athlete here, Japan-based Miriam Cherop. Miriam Cherop, labda utueleze ulifika Kenya lini?
First, I want to thank God kwa ile nguvu amenipea. Nashukuru sana. Mimi venye nilifika Kenya, I've been basing in Japan, and for the past 1 month nimekuwa Kenya. Hii ni mbio yangu ya kwanza kwa hii season, cross country, na nilifurahia kuparticipate siku ya leo.
nipime venye mwili iko, and I thank God nimekuwa position 3. Nimeona penye nafaa niende nirekebishe, nile tuongee na coach Gabriel tuone training takuwa namna gani hapa mbele. Asante.
Na of course mbio za dunia ambayo ni World Championships zinafanyika kule Tokyo, Japan. Labda nitasema ni nyumbani kwako ya pili. Labda unatarajia kuwa kwenye hii timu ya Kenya ambayo labda itakuwa inaelekea kule?
Mimi nafurahia and nashukuru World Athletics kwa kuweka World Championship kwa Tokyo. Hapo Tokyo itakuwa nyumbani kwangu pia. Mimi ni Japan resident. Na nitafurahia nikuwe huko, na ninaomba Mungu sana anipe ile nguvu niweze niingie team Kenya ya World Championship. Na kila kitu itakuwa sawa 2025.
Na labda of course kuna wanariadha wengi ambao wanakimbia kule Japan na pia wanakuja Kenya. Labda umekutana na baadhi yao kwenye mashindano kule Japan?
Nimekutana na wenzangu even Japanese athletes tumeparticipate wote in 2 kilometers, na ingawa tuko kampuni moja, wako kampuni inaitwa Daiso, and nilifurahia kukutana na hawa, na pia wa Kenya wenzangu wenye wamefika Kenya wenye wana train Japan tumekutana na wao, na nimeona wamekimbia vizuri pia.
Asante sana Miriam, and all the best. That was Miriam Cherop, who trains in Japan. And of course, Miriam, I first met her in 2018 when she was representing Kenya at the World Junior Championships in Tampere, Finland. And seeing her, of course, still doing well and competing well, it's a good thing, because that is what we call consistency. Because after a while, she will manage to join a company in Japan. And now, of course, she came back a month ago, as she said, to come and try and run few races as the season starts. Of course, seeing Naomi winning for the 3rd time, she won in E10. Of course, some jubilation here from the women here. She won in E10, went ahead to Bomet cross country, and also bagged victory. And then of course she has won today, and that is what we call consistency, because remember, she said that she's using these races as part of build up for the upcoming season, where she wants to seek for qualification to represent Kenya in the World Championships. And of course, I know the federation will be able to bring out the mode that they will select a team to the World Indoor Championships in China, and we expect to see also athletes doing so well in this event. Talking about Lilian Odira is also an 800-meter athlete. Actually, Miriam Cherop does 1,500 meters, and Lilian Odira is 800 meters, and she's here today. Of course, she said that she's using the race as part of build-up, and it's really important for the athletes to use these cross-country races as part of build-up, and by the end of it, we'll be able to know and to see how they perform when they start track events. So of course there's some jubilation there too. Naomi is being celebrated there. Of course Naomi is being celebrated there, and that is some celebrations there. And of course, as we celebrate here, the 10 kilometers senior race has just started off, and we have a big number here of athletes. Of course, we'll be able to see who will be able to win here today. And maybe just to tell you some of the women competing here in the 10 kilometers today is we have Elizabeth Wambui Njau from Central, Fen Nyaboke from Nyanza South, and Cheptekei Masibo from NYS, Nerissa Chepchirchir NYS, Masi Chepchumba NYS, Tekahara Sakura from Japan. These are Japan-based athletes who will be competing here today. Another athlete from Japan, Izuka Natasuki, Koto Hiramura, Kato Misaki. Those are the athletes competing here from Japan today. And we have some other athletes like Diana Tarus, Winnie Chesang, all from KDF. And then we want Chepchirchir, and Lucy Wanjiru, Central, Gladys Wairimu Muridi, Central. And then, of course, Viola Kimeto, Diana Chepkemoy, Brilliant Chebokel. Of course, Lillian has just run. I think it was a typing error. Gladys Kwamboka, Joyce Mudhoni Njeru, Gloria Chebet, Maslin Chepkemei Kirwa, Sarah Kerubo, Elijah, and then Mercy Chematian Biwot, Violet. Of course, that is Helen Ekalale leading. Helen also is a Japan-based athlete. She trains in Japan, and of course she has taken a lead, a gap of about 8 to 10 meters, and will she be able to maintain the gap? Maybe this is her home area. She comes from this region, and we will see how she'll be able to finish the race. So many athletes from this region, of course, as I said earlier, they work and train in Japan. They are attached to some companies in Japan, and of course, when it's off season for them in Japan, that is why you are able to see them here at home, and they managed to come with a few athletes from Japan coming here today to compete in their home ground. They want to see how the champions are being made. So it's good to see these athletes competing at home, and again with of course we call them wageni, visitors from Japan. So as I was saying, we have a lot of athletes here in this race. Maureen Cheruiyot, Cynthia Cherotich, Mbula Katua, Sharon Cherono, Yusta Bwari Maina, Monica Wangari. I will read the Japanese names again. Izuka Natsuki, Koto Hiramura, and then Kato Misaki. So hard to mention the names, Mulemi. Those names are tough to mention. So if Mulemi, you can hear me from this side, what are you able to see? Who is leading? Because I cannot see the leader. Mulemi is no. I think Mulemi cannot hear me, but I think, as I said earlier, Helen Ekalale is still leading. Helen Ekalale comes from this region, and of course works and trains in Japan. I knew Helen in 2018 when she represented Kenya in the World Junior Championships in 5,000 meters, where I think she finished 4th, missing the podium position narrowly. Of course, she was in very good position until the last 200 meters when someone stepped on her, and that forced her to slow down. And they were competing in the same race with Beatrice Chebet, where Chebet went ahead and won gold. And seeing her here today, I'm very happy to see, because she's still consistent in running and she's still there, having represented Kenya in the junior championships. Of course, we are able to see her. She transited to the senior races, and she's still competing here. So it's a good move here, and I know they are using these races as part of preparation for the road to Tokyo. Remember, this is the 5th edition of Ak-Betika cross-country weekend meet in Olkalou in Nyandarua county. A lot of people here spread across the Arboretum. Very nice sceneries here. The trees, we've never had a cross country such of this kind. Even the cameraman here getting it hard to even get an athlete from afar, because there are trees all over, but it's a good scenery and it's good for the athletes. This is good for them in terms of competition. I don't know, Mulemi, if you can hear me. Mulemi, the leading athlete, that is Helen Ekalale. If you can see her, you see the gap she has. She is continuing widening the gap. She's also Japan-based.
Very early.
This is a home area, taking advantage of the conditions at home. What do you think, Mulemi, about this athlete?
I think it's good also for her, because you look at the conditions here. Those who are navigating this course in a very good way are the ones who have the advantage, and you can see that gap. It might prove pivotal heading into the last stages of this 10-kilometer senior women's race, and it's something that we can say is quite tactical, because in this one is how you plan yourself well. And remember, we are live from our Olkalou town, the Olkalou Arboretum in Olkalou town, which is the headquarters of Nyandarua County, and we are looking at that huge gap that has been opened right now by Elizabeth. It can work for her, because if she maintains that speed, then I think she'll be running away with this, Bernard.
That she'll be able to finish well, but remember, those who are behind are trying to also close the gap. Maybe they started slow and then of course they'll increase, but for Helen it was at the gun she started, of course, sprinting and maintained that pace. So we are waiting to see if it will end well with her, or at what position she'll be able to finish. And of course other athletes competing here also. We've seen the Japanese in the race, and they're also trying to see how they will be able to run here today.
And they're very excited, the Japanese, Inzuka Natsuki, Koto Hiramura, and Kato Misaki. And it will be very interesting to hear what they have to say about this course, and of course the environment and the climate here in Nairobi, and of course talk about everything that they've witnessed in this race. As we witness the leading athlete in this 10-kilometer senior women's race, and it is coming very nicely. And of course we are live here at Olkalou for the 5th Betika AK cross country meet, and it's happening here. And of course the chief guest for today is Dr. Moses Badilisha, His Excellency the Governor of Nyandarua County, and Helen Ekalale from South Rift. She's really strong. She looks really determined to take this all the way, and she looks very determined to make sure that she has everything that it takes to win this 10-kilometer senior women's race. It's the first time she's participating in this one, but look at the distance that she's actually put ahead of the rest of the pack. And we'll have also the 2-kilometer loop men race that will be coming at around 11:50 a.m. to around 12 noon before ushering in this 10-kilometer senior men's race. A couple of officials, of course, attending today's event with the competition director, David Miano. Earlier on, we saw him at Olkalou Secondary, where he and, of course, the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Sport, Post, Youth Affairs and Creative Arts, His Excellency, rather Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen. He was actually there with David Miano, who is the Athletics Kenya Director. There's the meeting director, Erastus Kabugi, who's done a really great job to ensure that everything that you see on your screens is almost to perfection. There's the technical team manager, Mr. Francis Kamau Mfae. Then the competition secretary, Madame Lydia Muraya. The finance and director and prizes, all those checks you are seeing there, he is the one taking charge of everything. Eliud Nguma, presentation manager, George Muridi. The call room manager is called Daniel Gashara. Water coordinator Elidia Njeri. Of course, water point when athletes feel they're dehydrated. Sees the water points, and it helps the athletes cool down and rehydrate. And then the chief timekeeper Kariuki Gikonyo, a very experienced chief timekeeper here, and chief recorder Rosemary Gatere, chief funnel judge Dixon Karai, chief umpire Francis Kamau, ESM, and then the chief announcer of the day, the guys here on the announcer's desk, Boniface Mokio, chief marshal Benson Duati, chief starter Julius Kirwa, the experienced coach who's been here with us all the way, and then we have the P manager protocol. Other names to note today: Wilson Joroge, Margaret Mathea, Joyce Kungu, Joseph Ilovi, and Omolo, timekeepers for today. Ibrahim Kinutia, who make sure that all the times are accurate. Stephen Jenga, James Karuri, Beatrice Karindi, Jacob Langat, Solomon Washira, and the call room judges Lawrence Mieno, Francis Gakuru, James Mutisia. The lap scorers, the ones who ensure that all these athletes complete the laps in accordance to the distance they are covering. Of course, Peter Ndirango and Philip Ngovi, and then the final judge Julius Kipngetich, Julius Longesei, so Peter Mwangi, Gios Karitu, and Moses Kuria. Assistant starters Robert Kioni and David Otiti, and assistant announcers Muriuki Gikunju and Peter Muriuki, and a water team led by Monica Muraya, Doreen Wakio, Pauline Mwangi, Joseph Njenga, Jen Njeri from Olkalou, Peter Ngigi, and Njeru. Umpires for today: Muchemi Jen Njeri from Muranga, Masharia Joseph Kamati, David Marigi, Irene Wamuyu, Kinutia Aboreturi, Leonard Mwati, Priscilla Njeri, Joel Kimaru, Shelmit Watetu, and for the results, we take on Beatrice Kagendo. And I'm just looking at the course for today. From the start, they go for a distance of 200 meters before they take the first bend, and then take another 250 meters to complete the half-kilometer mark, and then they'll turn toward the right side of the course, and that is Helen still leading. The gap has been sized up a little bit. I'll be giving you the names of who are in the leading pack. They'll take it as there is a maximum elevation of 2,348 meters with a minimum elevation of 2,340 meters. Looking at the slope here at the Arboretum, the beautiful images, of course, courtesy of Athletics Kenya TV, and the average slope 1.7% to 1.6%, and Helen still leading the way. And when they go through the elevation, when you go up the elevation, you gain 18.9 meters, and then you lose the same when you go down. And of course, the maximum slope is 5.3%, with the minimum slope of 5.2%, as we see Helen going downfield on the course, something that is really interesting. And we're just talking about the 10-kilometer senior women's race that has attracted a huge number of onlookers here. The fans have come in droves here at the Olkalou Arboretum, and for this edition that promises to be one of its own kind.
Yeah, of course, Mulemi, as you continue watching this race, I've just seen somewhere that you remember Catherine Relin. She was second, I think, in Kapsokwony, and she was preparing to debut in marathon, and she has won this morning in Abu Dhabi Marathon, that is in the United Arab Emirates. So these are the fruits, the fruits of this series. So seeing Helen here still maintaining the lead, and the way she started shows that she was really prepared for this race, and we are still waiting for the name of the second athlete, and maybe we'll be able to get her bib number and get to know the name. So you can this tells you that Helen was prepared for this battle, and she knew that many athletes are coming to compete here, and they are prepared to win this race, and so she had to play her cards well, and of course start from the start sprinting all the way. Maybe I don't know if she'll be able to maintain up to the last leg. That is the last kilometer. Of course, we have people who are following our action here in Olkalou, and they are sending greetings. We have, of course, William in US. He is following keenly on this race, and William has been recruiting students to the scholarship in US. These students go to the US courtesy of a town hall group, and that is the brainchild of William and Silas and some other partners in the US. So we have, like this year, we had like almost 100 student athletes going to the US. And Mulemi, I'll tell you for free this. In the next 3 years, Team Kenya, these kids who are in the US, they'll be in Team Kenya representing Kenya at the Olympic Games. Remember, Olympic Games are being held in Los Angeles. So it's their home ground also, because they are studying there at the same time training. Why are they doing well? It's because of the good facilities that we were talking about.
Talking about the good facilities, of course, we have a good course here in Olkalou, Nyandarua County. And this is the 5th cross country. We can meet the 5th Athletics Kenya Betika cross country meet, and of course the 2-kilometer loop race ended, and there is the 10-kilometer senior women's race currently undergoing, and you can see Japanese athletes also trying out in this one. They brought the excitement, they brought the crowd on their feet, and of course currently in the lead is Helen. She's really tried so hard to ensure that she stays in the front. Helen Ekalale from South Rift, born on 18th of March 1999. She's an athlete that has always been an underdog in most of these races, but now we can see she's brought her best fit in this course this morning. See the Japanese athletes led by Izuka Natsuki, Kosom Hiramura, and Kato Misaki also trying out to ensure that they actually keep up to pace with this leading pack. That is Diana Chepkorir-Taris of KDF just passing through there. Monica Wangari Kanyata also going through that elevation. And that is Martha Njeri Kinuthia, the home girl. And that is Koto Hiramura from Japan. But that's Helen. Helen has just led from Ghana. And hopefully she maintains that. She looks really, really strong. After 3 laps, she looks really, really strong. She's not letting this go at the moment. The distance between her and the second athlete has grown farther and farther, bigger and bigger, because she knows that she has what it takes to, let's say, make it through and win probably this 10-kilometer senior women's race. Look at that distance, close to 250 meters. That's quarter of the distance between the start and the first bend. So, and it is an interesting race, because looking on your screens right now these are the traditional dancers, at least entertaining the crowd. On the other side, the dignitaries led by His Excellency Governor for Nyandarua, Mr. Moses, Dr. Moses Kiarie. Helen Ekalale still leading there. Kalale looks to have paired well for this one, because she is actually just tearing away from the rest of the pack. And some of the athletes who are not in competition currently enjoying the traditional music on this other end. Helen Ekalale continues to lead the way in this 10-kilometer race. Earlier on, we witnessed the 6-kilometer race and the 8-kilometer race, together with the 2-kilometer loop women race. Remember, 1 full lap on this course is equivalent to 2 kilometers. So the ladies will do 5, and the men will also do 5 in the 10-kilometer senior races. Helen Ekalale in command leads in this one. Helen. As they take that elevation, the crowd still elated with what the happenings here at the Arboretum. That's Faith Cherono climbing the elevation and going downhill. Jared Jerry Gishuki from police also trying out to see if she can actually finish in the top 10. Talking about the top 10, there's prize money from Athletics Kenya and Betika. For the senior, the winner gets 50,000 shillings, the second place 40,000 shillings, 20,000 shillings for the third placed runner, 20,000 for third and fourth, 15,000 for fifth, 10,000 from 6th to 10th. So plenty of goodies here, and Helen is on course to winning the 50,000 Kenya shillings. She's being cheered home. The crowd ensuring that she keeps with the momentum, because running across country is very, very, very difficult, especially when you're isolated, because you look around, nobody's there, then you tend to lower the speed down, then it becomes difficult for you. But the gap is slowly being bridged. So it will be interesting to see what happens in the last few kilometers of this one. And of course, a couple of interviews, and I'll be handing you over to Bernard Rotich on the other side. We're talking to the governor of Nyandarua, Honorable Moses Kiari.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. I'm joined here by the governor, Nyandarua County, and of course, we want to hear what he says about this event today, because of course, Nyandarua County is supporting talent. Maybe, Bwana Governor, karibu sana.
Thank you very much. I want to take this opportunity to appreciate the organizers of this event. This is, I think, the fourth series of the fifth series of cross country being done here, and since then we have begun to see a lot of interest from our youngsters, and as we know as Kenyans, is that athletics can also be a cash crop. We have seen many people who have built houses, their children are going to school, they are driving cars, out of athletics. And I want to thank Athletic Kenya, Betika, and those other people who have organized this event. You can see the members of the public are here. They are very happy. As a government, I'm also very happy that we have given opportunity to people who would have never gotten this opportunity to come and run. And as you all know is that those people who win here in Nyandarua or Karau, there is no doubt a good number of them will stop at nothing but at the top of the international arena. And therefore, that is why I came to see what they are doing, and I'm satisfied that this cross country has been organized well. Things are happening good. And as a country, we have a responsibility to nurture our children from the early stages. Sport also helps people to become disciplined, to be organized, mentally, physically, and therefore, I would want to say that this is the way to go. We have just discussed with the team, and we are organizing for a mountain running here in Nyandarua, possibly in the month of March. And I hope it will be successful. And as a county, we have promised to give it full attention so that it can eventually emerge as the greatest run in the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the governor. Of course, you've heard it from the governor saying that he will continue supporting the athletes. Of course, this is where they start. This is a grassroots where they start competing. Thank you so much, Bwana Governor. Thank you so much. Mulemi, we'll be talking to Miano, maybe Bwana Miano here, and then and of course, as we wait for Athletics Kenya representative, let's wait to see the last lap of this race, how it's going to be. Mulemi.
Thank you. Bernard has been speaking to the governor of Nyandarua County, Honorable His Excellency Moses Kiarie Makabila, who's talked extensively on the need to extend resources to ensuring that athletes have what it takes to compete at the highest level, and of course bring glory to the country, and of course empower themselves. But right now on your screens is the leader from Ghana. Take it to the tape, Helen Ekalale. Helen Ekalale of South Rift. She is in cruise control of this one. Will she make it to the end? She's being cheered home. Helen Ekalale. This is the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Helen Ekalale knows that she has what it takes to win this one. She knows that she can be the next champion at the Ak-Betika cross-country weekend meet. And we are here in Olkalou. She's navigated this course very nicely, and she's headed to victory if she maintains the current form, and if she maintains the stride that she started with. But also, there's an award ceremony going on the other side. Miriam Chebet, winning, finishing third in the 2-kilometer loop race for women. And of course, you can see Miriam, the Japan-based, being awarded a cash prize of 5,000 Kenya shillings. Lilian Odira, the national champion in the 800 meters, on the podium for the second time, winning 7,000 Kenya shillings, just as she did in Iten. No, not in Iten, in Kapkwen, in Bomet, 10 days ago. Then there is the hat-trick winner, Naomi Korir, winner in Iten, winner in Kapkwen, and now winner in Olkalou. That is Naomi Korir for you. She's done it, 3 out of 3. That's our winners. The podium finishers, sorry. The 8 and the 2 kilometers loop race as we head back to the Helen show at the moment. Helen Ekalale. Helen Ekalale leading the 10-kilometer senior women's race. And those are the beautiful smiles from the 2-kilometer race podium finishers. Lilian Odira, Naomi, and Miriam. If you're joining us, of course, we're live from Olkalou, the 5th Athletics Kenya Betika cross country weekend meet. Of course, Helen Ekalale still in the lead. Christine Joki in second, Joylin Cherotich in third, Gladys Kwamboka and Faith Cherono. So Helen Ekalale, she's been leading from the start. Christine Joki closing in second. Quite a distance between Christine and Helen, and of course Joylin Cherotich and Gladys Kwamboka. They're trying really hard. Faith Cherono in fourth. So Helen Ekalale into the last lap of this one. She's leading. She started on a high and she wants to finish on a high. Gladys Kwamboka currently in fourth. The crowd spicing up the event, ensuring that Ekalale goes all the way to finish on the podium. She looks really determined. She's not bothered by anything that is behind her. She takes that hurdle. She's also lapping other athletes here. So Ekalale looks to be fired up. She seems to be fired up for this one. Remember, this is the last lap of this 10-kilometer senior women's race, and that is the best view to see who finishes top. Helen Ekalale, she has been determined to take this one home, and you can see she's not bothered by anything. She's there focusing on her race, grimacing just a little bit, but then she knows that she has what it takes to win this edition of the Athletics Kenya Betika cross country weekend meet here in Olkalou. There she goes, Ekalale. The distance between her and Caroline is like daylight. Like day and night, as they say. That is the Japanese athlete. She's really tried hard to stay with the rest of the field. That is Takehira Sakura, born on 29th of October 2003. Cynthia Cherotich, but that is Ekalale. You look at how she's controlled this race. You're like, she's got enough gas in the tank. Like she knows what to do, when to do, and how to do. Like I said, she's not even bothered about who's coming behind her. She's being cheered on as she takes that leap. And there she goes, Ekalale. She's being cheered home. She knows she has what it takes to make sure that she finishes fast in this race. She's been strong from the first minute. She's been agile. She's maintained the speed that she started with, and this has been very, very tactical from her. And of course, Njoki will finish second, but there comes Helen Ekalale. She led from gun to tape in this 10-kilometer senior women's race, and she looks really strong as she goes over to win the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Jubilation for this lady, Helen Ekalale, winner of the Ak-Betika cross-country weekend here in Olkalou. And that's Christine Njoki, who really tried keeping up to pace with Helen Ekalale, but then Christine Njoki finishes in second place. And of course, we'll be handing you over to Bernard to speak to Helen Ekalale, who just led from gun to tape. Let's hear what she has to say.
Nilikuwa tunapanga kupiga mbele kwa maana nimefanya mazoezi vizuri kabisa.
Labda umekuwa tunajua wewe ni mtu wa Japan. Umekuwa hapa kwa muda gani na ulikuwa umejitayarisha vipi?
Hata sijakaa hapa, nimekaa hapa wiki moja tu. Nimepiga mazoezi tu wiki moja na nimefurahi sana kwa sababu mwili imekubali haraka sana kwa wiki moja. So bado nitaendelea kungangana kabisa, yani nikuwe in a good condition kabisa.
Of course mwaka ujao kuna World Championships ambayo inafanyika pale Japan. Sijui wewe umejitayarisha vipi kwa ajili ya kupata chance ya kurepresent Kenya kule Japan?
Mimi nimeanza sasa kwa hii mbio. Kuanzia sasa nitapiga mazoezi kabisa ili niweze kuqualify kwa World Championship yenye itafanyika Japan. So nitangangana na nitatia bidii.
Nimekujua kwa muda Helen, ambao umekuwa ukikimbia 5000 na ulikimbia na Beatrice Chebet ambaye juzi umeona amekimbia amepata gold 5000 na 10000. Labda wewe kwako ukiona mtu kama ambaye mlianza na yeye pale Finland 2018, nini inakupea motisha pale?
Wakati nilimuona amekuwa bingwa na amekuwa champion, hata mimi nikasema ningependa kukua kama yeye, ningependa kungangana pia mimi nikuwe mkimbiaji mwema na nitangangana kabisa hata mimi nikimbie vizuri.
Labda unafanya kampuni gani pale Japan?
Ninafanya kampuni ya Toyota. Ninakimbilia Toyota huko Japan.
Asante sana Helen. That was Helen, a Japan-based athlete, and of course we have the second athlete here, that is Christine Njoki. Christine aliweza kushinda mbio ya Eldoret Tech Run. Sijui cross country ulikuwa na mangapi? Hebu tueleze.
Kwa majina naitwa Christine Njoki. Hii ni eke yangu ya tatu kushiriki. Ya kwanza nilishiriki kule Machakos, nikawa position 5. Ya pili nikashiriki kule Iten, nikawa position 5. Sorry, Machakos nilikuwa namba 2. Hapa nimeshiriki, nimekuwa nambari ya pili. Mimi nashukuru Mungu kwa hiyo nafasi. Yeah.
Labda hizi mbio zinakusaidia nini kama mwanariadha?
Mimi mbio inanisaidia kama build up kwa sababu najiandaa kwa race. Niko na race najiandaa on January. Hii ni kama build up yangu. Yeah.
Labda ni race gani ambayo unajitayarisha kwenda kukimbia?
Mimi nitashiriki Valencia 10K road race. Yeah.
Of course Njoki, Valencia inajulikana as a fast course ambaye labda unaweza andikisha muda wako bora. Labda unapangia nini?
Mimi napangia kwenda kukimbia personal best. Nataka nikimbia under 29 and I hope I will make it. Yeah.
Wow, asante sana. Of course Njoki huyo ndio amekuwa nambari la pili and actually she will be I think the second athlete because Agnes ran under 29 and of course we are going to interview the third athlete. Labda utaanza na jina lako alafu tuambie una train wapi na mbio leo imekuwaje?
Kwa majina naitwa Joylin Cherotich na train Kerenget. Mbio haikuwa rahisi. Asante.
Labda Cherotich ajusijamaliza, labda pale Kerenget tuna train na coach mgani na ulikuwa umejitayarisha vipi juu ya hii race?
Na train na coach Willy Langat. Nilikuwa nimejitayarisha vizuri. Sawa.
Labda hapo mbeleni umepangia labda unataka kushiriki mbio gani?
Mungu akijalia nda try World Championship. Sawa.
Asante sana. All the best. Those are the winners today and of course as you've heard them, they said that everybody is looking forward to the road to Tokyo. Road to Tokyo. Everybody wants to go to Tokyo for the World Championships and most of the athletes, that is where normally their career starts. So it is a matter of wait and see to see if these athletes will be able to make it to the World Championships. Otherwise, we are going for the next event, that is the 10 men, actually it's 2 kilometers men's loop. And then of course the last event will be 10 kilometers senior men's race. And of course this is the 5th K meet, that is Betika cross country meet, and then the last one will be in Kisii, and we shall be updating you about the Kisii event. Mulemi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Bernard. And of course, those are the official results for the 10-kilometer senior women's race. Helen Kalale winning in a time of 35 minutes, 53 seconds. Christine Njoki coming in second, 36 minutes, 25 seconds. Joylin Cherotich coming in third. And of course, this, I think, her second podium finish, 37 minutes, 13 seconds. Faith Cherono, 37 minutes, 56 seconds. And Naomi Kemboi, 37 minutes, 56 seconds. So you wait for the other athletes to complete this 10-kilometer senior women's race. And of course, afterwards, we'll have the men try out in the 2-kilometer loop race. This is going to be fast and furious. We saw Emmanuel Onyonyi winning it in E10. We saw Reynold Kipkorir winning in Kapkwen. And now, let's see who is able to make it to the podium in the men's category here. We have Samson Kipkemei, Peter Kemboi, Paul Njoroge, Benson Mwangi, Josephat Okindo, Ibrahim Kipruto, William Lorushia, Solomon Kimutai, Joshua Mangera Muro, Daniel Kamau Gitangi. We have Sami Kiarie, Albert Mude, Joseph Njuguna, Edgar Chege, Kiplangat B, Henry Kipkosgei, Meshak Lerionka, Kosgei Amos, Kipto, Brian Yegon, James Waweru, Kipkorir Silo, Collins Kipruto, Walter Chemos, Joseph Masharia, Dismas Kibet, Peter Ehalie, Eliakile Narumbe, Dennis Kiplimo Cheruyot, Solomon Nguyo, Kelvin Kimtai. It's quite a huge number. Franklin Kimutai, Milkin Kelepes Wangeshi, Edwin Kiplagat, Felix Kungat Nansaka, Eric Kibet, among others, Tony Kiprotich, Kelvin Kinyamal, Kiyamba Leparan, Stanley Wamoka, Daniel Gabriel Saimito. These are some of the athletes that will be taking part, and it's a rich field of athletes. It's a rich entry of 82 athletes. And And of course, the Japanese athletes coming through also. And we'll be waiting to hear if Rotich has a couple of interviews on the other end, and it's so beautiful to see the Japanese athletes competing at the highest level, and that is Izuka Natsuki finishing the 10-kilometer senior race. So Bernard, if you're ready with any of the interviews, you can take it away. So you wait for the interviews to come through. Yes, Bernard, and of course the next edition will be at the in Mosocho in Kisii County on the 4th of January, and we have to know, and we want to know what will happen there. Bernard. Bernard, if you can hear me, take it away.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mulemi. Of course, I'm with the chairman here from Kisii, and of course, the last series shall be held in Kisii, and let him welcome the viewers and of course the athletes to his region. Bwana Ngwenyi, how are you?
Thank you very much. I'm chairman of Nyanza South, not the Kisii County. We have the chairman of Kisii County, who is also our national PRO. I want to say that we are welcoming all Kenyans to Cardinal Tunga Mosocho for the 6th and the final cross-country series, Betika cross-country series, to be held there before we embark on the national championship series.
And of course, we've seen a lot of talent. Of course, I've seen you across all the meets that have happened, the 5 meets. We've seen a lot of talents and upcoming athletes doing so well. What do you expect in Kisii?
Well, you expect a lot of new athletes. There are several athletes who are in training, in various training camps in Kisii and in Nyamira, who are training in the youth camps, more especially the region which covers Migori, Kisii and Nyamira County. They have upcoming athletes, and we expect to have a big number registering once the link has been put in. Remember, the race will be taking place on the 4th of January. It will be the first race of the year 2025. We are going back to Mosocho, Cardinal Tunga, where all the cross-country series in the past started. We are going to rediscover Mosocho.
Thank you so much, Bwana Ngwenyi. That was the chairman himself welcoming you home. And that is after Christmas. I know people will have eaten a lot of chapati, and they'll be trying to shake off some fats after the Christmas festivities. So thank you so much, Bwana Ngwenyi. And of course, Mulemi, I'll hand over to you, so maybe you have something to add on.
On your screens right now is the 2-kilometer loop men's race. 89 athletes, 1 full lap on this one. And this is the second last event of the day. Remember, afterwards we'll have the 10-kilometer senior men's race that will be closing the day. So we are ready to rumble in the 2 kilometers men's race. Remember, Reynold won it in Kapkwen. Wanyonyi won it in Iten. Who's going to be the winner today? Because they are not here. It's a whole new field of athletes. Beautiful images there, courtesy of Athletics Kenya TV. We've been with you all the way. Of course, traditional music also filling the air. Now getting ready for the second last event of the day, the 2 kilometers loop men's race. That is Helen Ekalale steaming away to win the 10-kilometer senior women's race. That is Helen. She led from start to finish. As we get ready for the start of the 2-kilometer senior men's race. '89 athletes in this one. And off we go, the 2 kilometer senior men's race, this one lap on the course. And we'll be waiting to see who emulates the likes of Emmanuel Wanyonyi, who emulates the likes of Reynold right here in Olkalou, the second last event of the day. Promise you this one will be fast. And of course, straight after this one, we'll have the men's 10 kilometer senior race happening here, and we await to see what will be happening. And if you're joining us live, we are in Olkalou, Nyandarua County for the 5th edition of the Athletics Kenya Betika cross country meet. Afterwards, we'll be headed to the town of Kisii in Kisii County in Mosocho. It's push and shove in this one. Remember, there are no second chances in this one. If you fail behind the leading pack, then that's it. Remember, the 2 kilometer loop men's race is just one full lap on this one. Those are some of the athletes who competed in the just concluded 10 kilometer senior women's race. But that's the leading pack in this 2 kilometer loop men's race. Part of the crowd here at Olkalou. Previously, we had the county of Nyandarua Governor, His Excellency Moses Kiarie, talk about the importance of ensuring that the youth are fully involved in sports professionally. And it is something that was also highlighted by the Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, Youth Affairs, and of course Creative Arts, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, who visited Olkalou Secondary to check on the Athletics Kenya camp that of course is actually in this area, and that is the Olkalou Stadium that is now under construction. You can see it's been dug out, and we back to the 2 kilometer loop men's race, currently being led by Ibrahim Kipruto in a very, very unique bib there as he takes that leap going downwards. It looks really strong, but it's a field of 4 currently, field of 5, sorry, in the leading pack with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 chasing. So Abraham Kipruto currently in the driver's seat. They're exchanging leads there. Abraham Kipruto, of course, from Central Boni 2008. And this is the course, the Olkalou Arboretum. And now it is Reagan Kipkorir Kibet now assuming the lead in this 2-kilometer race. Reagan from the Sinonin camp, stretching that lead to around 20 meters. So Reagan Kipkorir Kibet, Abraham just fallen quite behind. That is Reagan Kipkorir coming away, steaming away from the rest of the pack, doing what Wanyonyi did in Iten, doing what Reynolds did in Kapkwen, and now the new 2-kilometer loop race winner in Olkalou is Reagan Kipkorir, who's just made sure that he steams away from the rest of the pack. In second place, of course, Brian Kipto, who's really tried hard to keep pace with Reagan Kipkorir. And that is Reagan coming home and winning the 2-kilometer race. That is Reagan Kipkorir just teaming away and winning that race. Levi Kipkurui Bichi finishing third. So we'll be waiting to hear what Reagan has to say after taking the mantle from Reynolds. Over to you, Bernard. Yes, Bernard, I can hear you. Can take it away. And of course, coming up is the 10-kilometer senior men's race.
Mulemi?
Yes, Bernard.
Yeah, I'm ready for the interview.
You can take it away, Bernard.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. Of course, we have the winner of the 2 kilometers loop, and wacha tujue anaitwa nani na anafanya mazoezi wapi na mbio imekuwaje kwake leo.
Kwa majina anaitwa Reagan Kipkorir Kibet, na train kule Baringo, kambi inaitwa Sinonin Camp. mazoezi ya leo ijakuwa rahisi, lakini nimetia bidii kwa sababu na train vizuri kule kambi yangu. So mimi nashukuru tu Mungu na nashukuru makoches wetu kwa kazi mzuri ambao wamefanya. Asante.
Hapo awali nimeona wenzako pia wameshinda junior event. Labda ni mazoezi imekuwa aje kwenu?
Huko mazoezi yetu tuna train na ma champions. Kila mtu ni champions kambi yetu. Ni hivyo tu, mazoezi ndio kitu muhimu.
So, mwaka unapoanza tunatarajia nini? Unataka kufanya ama kukimbia mbio gani?
Mimi na trainia 1500 meters. Nataka kukimbia na ma champions kama Jacob Ingabrisel. Asante.
Asante sana. Labda tuongee na number 2. Tueleze anaitwa nani na anafanya mazoezi wapi? Songa hivi. Anza na jina lako alafu tuambie unafanya mazoezi wapi.
Kwa majina naitwa Brian Kipto. Na train ya Ururu.
So mbio ya leo imekuwaje?
Sio haikuwa mbaya. Ni hali ya anga tu. Hewa ndio msito.
Labda wewe unakimbia mbio gani kwa track, na of course track iko karibu kuanza, labda unajitayarisha vipi? Unataka kukimbia wapi?
Nakimbianga mbio ya mita 800 na mita 1015. Lakini natarajia saa hii nikimbie mita 10,000.
Labda hii cross country kwako inakusaidia aje kama athlete wa 1500?
Inanisaidia kwa mileage. Nilikuwa natafuta speed.
Asante sana. Tuongee na namba 3 ambaye amechukua nambari la 3. Labda anza na jina lako.
Kwa majina naitwa Levi Kipkuru. Na train Sinanin camp.
Mbio imekuwaje leo?
Mbio nashukuru Mungu. Ya kwanza nashukuru Mungu. Nimekimbia vizuri. Nilikuwa 10 last time, nilikuwa number 5. Leo nikasema nataka ningangana at least niingie top 3. Nashukuru Mungu nimekuwa nambari la 3.
Wewe unakimbia mbio gani?
Nakimbia 1500 meters.
So hii mbio ya leo ambayo umekimbia 2 kilometers loop inakusaidia aje kama mwanariadha wa 1500?
Inanisaidia ni build up. Ndio ekemit field track and field ikianza. I'll be in shape.
Asante sana, all the best. Mulemi, as you have heard, this athlete trains in Eldamaravin, that is in Baringo. Number 1 and 3 all are training in Baringo. Remember, number 1 and 3 in the junior 8 kilometers category they also train in Baringo. So I think there is a secret these people have in terms of men's senior men's training, and we are yet to know about that. Of course, the coach is Barnaba Kitilit. We'll be able to get to know more if we talk to him. Mulemi, as we head to the last event, I don't know, what do you have there?
Of course, the results of the 2-kilometer loop men's race, and that is Regan Kipkorir won it in a time of 7 minutes 55 seconds. Brian Kipto came in seconds, 8 minutes 0.01. Levi Kipkurui 8.04. Patrick Kiprono 8 minutes 0.05, and then Edwin Kiplangat finished 5th in 8 minutes 0.08 seconds. Of course, we'll have the full results at the end of this broadcast and on the Athletics Kenya social media pages. But us, of course, we are awaiting the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior men's race here in Olkalou at the Arboretum in Nyandarua County. Once again, the results of the 2 kilometers loop men's race. Regan Kipkorir 7 minutes 55 seconds. Brian Kipto 8 minutes 01 came in second, and now it's time for the 10-kilometer senior race. Of course, there was Kevin Kipkurui, Patrick Kiprono, and Edwin Lagat coming in through in that order. And of course, we talked about the last event of the day, which is the 10-kilometer senior men's race that is about to start. And looking at the track of the course officials, ensuring that everything is in order, ensuring that all that has been placed, and of course how we started the day on a high note ends of course on a high note. This is the 5th meeting, the cross-country meeting, and of course it is the Athletics Kenya Betika 5th cross-country weekend meet, and we are live from Olkalou. After this, of course, we'll be headed to Mosocho in Kisii County for the 6th Athletics Kenya Betika cross-country meet. And of course, as we await for the start of the 10-kilometer race, we'll be handing you over to Bernard Rotich, who will be conducting a couple of interviews. Over to you, Bernard. Bernard, we can't hear you. You can't switch on your microphone.
Thank you, Mulemi. Thank you, Mulemi. We are here with a junior athlete. She tells me she's in the camp for the under 20. Of course, remember we have the under 20 junior camps ongoing around the country. And here we have one of the athletes. Wacha tuambie anaitwa nani na anakimbia mbio gani, anasomea wapi?
My name is Janet Wango from Nyandarua. School is Ndemi and I learn 800 meters. Yeah.
So far mazoezi imekuwaje?
Mazoezi imekuwa sawa, kila kitu imekuwa sawa.
Najua leo hujakimbia lakini umeangalia vile watu wanakimbia, labda kwako imekupea motisha?
Kabisa, nimeipenda kabisa. I love it and I will maintain that.
And when you see athletes competing maybe on screen, on TV, whom inspires you? Whom do you want to be like?
I want to be like Meli Mola. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. So that is a junior who has really been inspired here today, and she's saying that she wants to be a champion like Mary Mora. And of course, as we continue watching, we are waiting for the last event of this race, where a number of athletes are competing here today. They have started, and I'll be bringing some few interviews to you shortly. Let's watch how the race is unfolding as we wait to see who will emerge a winner today here in the men's 10 kilometers senior category. We have a big number here, and they are going, of course, to compete in this good environment, a nice rain here, and we shall see how the race will be unfolding. It's the 5th Athletics Kenya Betika cross country happening here in Meeting-Olkalou, and we have a number of people who've turned up all the way even from Japan. We've seen athletes, Japanese athletes competing here today. We've seen athletes based in Japan also winning races. Someone like Helen Kalala winning the 10 kilometers women's senior race. And of course, she said that she's just jetted back to the country, and having won today here shows the kind of training she's going to do ahead of the, of course, in terms of the road to Tokyo as she prepares for the World Championships. If you're just joining us, we are live from Nyandarua, that is in Olkalou, and this is the 10-kilometer men's senior race. Of course, we have a big number, or someone has fallen down there. It's a big number. You have to really take care of yourself. I can see John Lamont is really behind. But remember, John Lamont won the Iten marathon, 10 kilometers. I can see also the Japanese here competing in this race today. So we expect someone, of course, to win, and we shall be waiting to see who will emerge a winner today. And we are looking forward to a great race. Remember, this is the road to Tokyo, and athletes are using these events, especially the cross country, as part of build-up towards the season. When this ends, we'll be heading to Kisii on January 4th, and then of course we will now turn to all the counties will be holding their events, and at the same time we'll have after that we'll have the regional events with the discipline forces events. I think we have about 14 regions across the country, and then we have the discipline forces, that is the National Police, KWS, NYS, Kenya Forest, and Kenya Defence Forces and Kenya Prisons. They'll all, and of course the universities category, they'll all be meeting on 8th February in Nairobi for the national event. We will be able to see who will emerge a winner in this event at the nationals. It's now getting hotter because in the morning it was really cold. I was in my jacket, but now I've really thrown it away because it's really getting hot. It's really getting hotter. I didn't expect things to turn this way, but of course we are going to see how this last race will turn out. Mulemi, I don't know if you can hear me. A big number of athletes in the 10 senior men compared to the senior women's race. Mulemi?
Bernard, looking at this race, I think we're headed to a very exciting end because you look at the huge number of entries in this one. You're like, it's getting exciting in each and every leg. And of course, the sponsors and of course everyone else
Mulemi,
involved.
if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, meanwhile, maybe as I wait for Mulemi, what I would want to say is that, of course, last weekend we had the Great Chepsaita Run. The Great Chepsaita Run, and of course, we saw athletes competing so well, and I think that's why we did not see a lot of them turning here because it was a challenging course. Now let me hand over to Mulemi. Mulemi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I know from in Chepsaita we had a very huge number of athletes coming through, and of course most of them really wanted to make a mark. It being a gold level event, it was bound to attract huge numbers. We are right here for this 10-kilometer senior men's race. Race that of course will be the last for the day, and we are looking for the names that already are making a mark in this one. Kiprono, of course, Kelvin Kiprono, Kenneth Kiprono Lagat in the lead currently, and it is something that we can always say might gonna happen. We witnessed that in the 10-kilometer senior women's race where Helen Kalale won from gun to tape. So right now it is Kelvin Kiprono as they navigate through the course of this one. But then as the race continues, we'll have, of course, a couple of interviews lined up for you, courtesy of Bernard Rotich, who's done a really, really great job here. But that's the leading pack. Looking at how well this race has been planned. We're looking at a couple of names here, the likes of Daniel Karari, Theuri from Coast, who's come all the way to participate in this one. The last event of the day, of course, still in the lead, Kenneth Kiprono Lagat. Kiprono looks really strong coming into this one. Remember that the 5 laps of this race. 5 laps of this one. Vincent Kibet Langat. also in the picture. As you see, the likes of Robert Kabau Gadoni, the homeboy, trying out in this one. It's the 10-kilometer senior men's race, the last event of the day, here at the Arboretum. Olkalou town is just adjacent. So coming here at the Arboretum has made it even special. As also we await for a couple of interviews, and Bernard, if you can hear me, you can go ahead as we head towards the business end of affairs here at the Arboretum in Olkalou.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. Of course, we are going to, we want to talk to the competitions director. Of course, he's up and down here doing some work here. But of course, meanwhile, as we wait, I've seen Janet. Janet is the Africa champion in 10,000 meters. Of course, we are joined now by the competitions director, that is Kennedy Tanui. And maybe, Kennedy, the 5th series so far, how has it been for you?
The 5th series today is climaxed by several other build-ups that are coming, and I want to say so far so good. We are now entering, we are in Central Region. Central Region is very diverse, and the culture of athleticism had gone down, but now we want to promise that they are back, and we are back on foot on a very scenic course, that is Olkalou, and we are doing it in Olkalou for the 3rd time, and today is bigger than all the events that we have done in Olkalou. And therefore we say that technically this has given us the right platform for going forward in other cross countries, which we are going for the final one in Kisii, the final series, and then we go now to counties, regionals, and then to national championships in Nairobi later on in the beginning of the year. So this has been good, and we want to say that the challenges so far we are getting through one by one, and I think we are almost somewhere in cross country now. Yes.
And of course, seeing someone like Kalale here, you are in the team that represented Kenya in 2018 for the World Junior Championships, and seeing her doing here well today. Maybe what are your thoughts in terms of such athletes in terms of consistency?
One, I was very happy to see a rejuvenation of Kalale. She was in 2017 in Uganda. We remember as a junior. In fact, by then she was a youth. 2018 we were together in Finland for World Championships. She did very well, and she disappeared somewhere on the way. She has been struggling, but today we've seen that she's stamping our authority now, and we want to say that we are proud of our youth development programs, the under 20 teams that are now training, and Kalale is one of the products of that youth mentorship, and we are saying that athletics is coming up well. Our juniors are now taking up the mantle, and from the seniors who are now almost retiring, and others have retired already or have shifted their gears to other events like road races, marathons, and all those things. So this is an indication that there is still much to do in the junior ranks. Yes.
Thank you so much, Tanui. Thank you, and we hope for a better race next weekend, next year in Kisii. Of course, I have seen champion walking around here, and I need to talk to her. That is Janet Chemgetich, who trains in Keringet. He is the African champion. Janet, leo naona umekuja kuangalia vile watu wanakimbia. Wewe mwenyewe hujakimbia. Uko na mpango gani?
My name is Janet Chemgetich. I'm training in Keringet. Kitu yenye nimekuja tu kuona, kumotivate. Yeah. Mi sahi niko off season. I am in off season now, and mi nafanya build up. I'm doing now build up, and I will going to compete in 2025. Yeah, from February. But what I'm seeing now is Tokyo. Yeah.
So you are aiming for the World Championships?
Yes, I'm aiming for the World Championship. So now I'm now in build up. Yeah.
We wish you all the best. Asante sana. That is Janet Chemgetich. That is a world, not actually, Africa champion in 10,000 meters. And as you've heard, she said that she is doing some build up. And we are going to do the last interview for now. That is, we want to talk to the Vice President in charge of competitions. That is Mr. Paul Mutui, who is just joining us. Bwana Mutui, karibu sana. Yeah, Bwana Mutui, of course we've seen the level of competition here today. This is the fifth series so far. As a federation, maybe how has it been for you?
Let in the first place me say that as a competition director, I'm very happy in the first place because of the so good organization which has been taking place in all the series we have been going to, and want to say this is the fifth one. The last one is going to be at KC on the 4th January, that's next year, and I want to say, like I have just said, that they have been doing very well in terms of arrangement. Now, when we come to also the numbers of the athletes patronizing every event, right from the start, the attendance has been very good, more than we have had there before during the last years. So I think we are commonly doing very well in competition. I mean in competitions within this cross-country series. Many that going this way, probably because the whole of the idea is to get athletes to Tokyo, we have a very big hope. This is because this time we do not have a World Cross-Country Championship. We are trying to urge Africa so that we can have at least an African competition. But without them, what I have just said is that is a very good beginning.
Thank you so much, Bwana Muti. Thank you so much. That was the Vice President in charge of competitions at the Athletics Kenya. And of course, you've heard that the athletes, the series has seen a number of good athletes standing up for this event. So as we head to the last event, that is in Kisii, of course this will give a chance to many other athletes who did not get a chance to compete at the series at the county level. Of course we'll see other champions being born at the county level, and then of course going to the regional level, and of course all the way to the national. I think Mr. Mutui has something to say. Maybe he forgot to say. We'll get back to Mr. Mutui to hear what he's saying.
Yes, I've forgotten to at least thank the regions which have been organizing these cross-country events, both in terms of Athletics Kenya officials in that particular area, and of course the national body for the provision of money to enable the competition to take place. But of late, I'm so happy that we managed to get a body that is sponsoring our cross-country event, that is Betika. So I want to particularly thank the Betika organization so much for coming up to assist us. And finally, I would like to say, of all the areas we have gone, we have seen some kind of assistance from the county governments, but I want to specifically talk about the Nyandarua one, where the governor himself came and launched the event itself. So that now, elsewhere where we are going, we are requesting the county top officials to take interest. Because what there is that in every place where we go, the whole idea is to see the local people coming in, supporting it, so that we can have the youngsters start taking interest in the whole idea of running. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Bwana Mutui. Of course, Mulemi, if you can see how the race is unfolding, people, of course, they've stood strategically to see how the race is going. But I'm really interested because I think in your screen, is that Lomon, is it Lomon leading? Because he has been able to win in a 10-kilometer road race, and then went ahead to win a 10 kilometers tech run. And then I think he is the one leading. Maybe you'll have to confirm for me. And remember, John trains in E10, but he comes from this region. It should be either Laikipia or Nyandarua or the Nyahururu area. So just confirm for me. If you can hear me, Mulemi.
Yes, I can confirm it is him in the lead currently. And of course, being on home turf, it means that it's quite gonna be easy for him to navigate through this course at the Arboretum here in Olkalou. And he's an athlete that we know has the pedigree to perform well, did it in E10, as you just said, Bernard. And of course, looking at what is happening here, you can always say that all these athletes have really shown high level of professionalism to ensure that they at least compete at the highest level and give Kenyans exactly what is expected heading into the new season. And of course, if you're joining us, we are live from Olkalou in Nyandarua County for the 5th edition of the Athletics Ak-Betika Cross Country Weekend Meet, and it is the second last event before we head to Kisini Mosocho. And we've heard also from the Athletics Kenya Nyanza South Chairman, Mr. Peter Angwenyi, who's shed light on what is expected heading into that leg. It is something that we are really hoping that will be of a spectacular way. It's something that will make us also have memorable moments, because we already have 5 memorable moments. We began in Machakos in November. We went to Kapsokony, we went to Iten, we went to Kapkwen in Bomet, and right now we are here in Olkalou at the Arboretum in Nyandarua County, bringing you all this action. And of course, it's something that the athletics community, Kenyans at large, and of course the Betika community who are sponsoring this event, making sure that the prize money has been disbursed to the fullest. And of course, talking about the 10-meter senior men's race, the winner will walk home 50,000 Kenya shillings, with 40,000 shillings going to the second position, and the third 20,000 shillings together with the fourth. The fifth 15,000 shillings, 6th to 10th will each earn 10,000 shillings. So a lot of goodies here, courtesy of Betika, who are the sponsors of this event, and of course Athletics Kenya, the Nyandarua County, who played a big role to ensure that this thing becomes a success. This cross-country meet becomes a huge success. If you're joining us, this is the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior men's race, and we are live from the Arboretum in Olkalou. And of course, these are athletes who are taking that elevation loss after going through that hurdle that makes you go up and of course go downwards. And it's a huge field of athletes who've really shown their potential here. And of course, the competition has been lively, has been stiff, has been the one that you can talk about for years and years to come. So if you're joining us, this is the last event of the day, the 10-kilometer senior men's race. And of course, in the lead, John Lomon, Vincent Kibet, and Wesley Yego in that order. That is Lomon, Yegon, still battling out to see who reigns supreme in this one. Vincent Kibet Langat, who led at some point, is currently in second place. And of course, Wesley Kipkemboi Yegon in second place. And talked about John Lomoni, born in 2004, representing Central. Of course, Japanese athletes also spicing up this one. Lomon in the lead, of course, followed by Kibet and Lagat. And of course, John Ewoy, watching from Eldoret. He's been with us since the AM. Now we are in the PM. And of course, John Ewoy. John Lomon is leading in the 10-kilometer race. Vincent Kibet Langat. I'm not confusing names here. Just saying as it is. Ewoy watching from Eldoret and Lomon watching from running here in Olkalou at the Arboretum. John Lomoni, of course, from North Rift. Vincent Kibet Langat, South Rift. And from KDF, Wesley Kipkemoi, Yego. A couple of Japanese athletes also coming into this one. As the top three positions still remain with John Lomoni, Vincent Kibet, and Wesley Kipkemoyego. Heading into the last lap of this 10-kilometer senior men's race. And that is Lomoni still dictating pace here at the Arboretum.
Of course, John trains in Iten under Kipran camp. And he has been doing well of late. Of course, if you can see, he's still leading. He's a consistent athlete, and he knows what he's doing. And I think he comes from this vicinity that is in either like Kipia or Nyandarua, but he trains in Iten. Of course, he's preparing for a race maybe in January. That is what he said after winning in Tekran. He won Tekran 2 weeks ago, and then, of course, about, I think last month, or early this month, he won in Iten road race. So he's an athlete who is really focused. If you talk to him, he really wants to do well in this career. And as he prepares to launch his international competition, I know he's a man who is going to do very well. Yeah, it has been a good race. Mulemi, we came here with jackets, and right now we've thrown the jackets away. The climate or the conditions they've really changed. It's now hot.
It's really hot as we head to the last meters of the senior men's race. It is a race that has brought together close to 213 athletes. So the importance of this race is that it is the main event. And the 5th Betika Athletics Kenya Cross Country Meet, of course, we can say it's been a success because we've witnessed all the races without any hitches. It's been competitive, it's been aging, and we'll be looking forward to see if Komon and Kibet will finish in that order. But then John Komon takes that lead. I think it's really, really close, and this might just go the wire. It might be a speed finish because the three of them are toe to toe, neck to neck. Short, each one smart the other. Still John Komon in the lead, leading the 213 athletes that converged here at the Arboretum for the 10-kilometer senior men's race.
Yeah, and of course we are happy because we have a lot of people following this action live from various parts. Japan, we have people from USA, we have people, even someone from South Africa is following this race. And it's good because they're able to get real live pictures. We have Caroline Chepkorir, who is at the Washington State University in USA, who is following the action live from USA. And of course, I told you earlier about William from Town Hall Group, of course, in USA also, following the action closely. So we are glad, we are happy for those who are following us live. Thanks so much, Caroline Chepkorir. She is a student at Washington State University. Sounds like a tongue twister. But of course, these are the athletes I told you. In the near future, or the next 2 years, 3 years, you'll be able to see them doing very well in the international events, especially representing Kenya in things like world championships and Olympic games. So because they get good training sessions and training facilities in those countries. Of course, there is a change in the lead now. We have Vincent Kibet Langat, who was surged forward, and then Wesley Kipkemoi Yego is now following, and then of course Lomoni, John Lomoni is in third place now. So let's continue and see how the races will unfold. Mulemi, so far so good.
We've seen a couple of races where one athlete has dominated, but coming into the 10-kilometer senior men's race, quite a different picture, because Lomoni has led for close to 3/4 of the race, but then Vincent Kibet Langat deciding to take matters into his own hands, and now they're exchanging leads there. Wesley Kipkemoi in second place, and it's going to be a very, very, very tight one. Kipkemoi from KDF currently in second. He looks really strong, and Kibet and Langat, who's now in the lead, has fallen back as it's getting hotter, as Bernard put it. It's getting hotter because we came with jackets. Now we are on our tees. But then Wesley Kipkemoi Yego. Wesley Kipkemoi Yego now stealing the lead from Vincent Kibet Langat. John Lomoni has dropped to third place. As we head toward the end of this one. Of course, the crowd being entertained by the 213 athletes who actually braced the morning call to come here in Olkalou to compete in this Athletics Kenya Betika cross country weekend meet. That is Wesley and Vincent. Now it's Vincent Kibet Langat deciding, let me go. Wesley Kipkemoi Yego in second. As they head towards the home stretch, will it be Wesley or Vincent? Lomoni already dropped to third. But then it is Vincent Kibet Langat, the man born on 6th of February 2001, running away to win the 10-kilometer senior men's race, and is being cheered along. Wesley Kipkemoi Yego trying so hard to catch up with Vincent, but then the distance looks to be quite big, and it is getting difficult for him to at least try pull something toward the last meters of this one. As they head toward the finishing line, it is Vincent Kibet Langat, winner of the 10-kilometer race here in Olkalou. He's being closely followed by Wesley Kipkemoi Yego. It was a tactical race, and there comes John Lomoni, who claims third place. This has been a very, very beautiful race. And that is Lawrence Ngugi. So winner of the 10-kilometer senior men's race, Vincent Kibet Langat. He's been followed by Wesley Kipkemoyego. I'm eager to hear what Vincent has to say after winning this one. Of course, it was really tactical because for most parts of the race, Lomoni John was in the lead. Then suddenly Vincent from South Reef decided, no, it is my time to shine. And then he took it all the way to the top. Wesley Kipkemoy of KDF, who came in second. I know he'll be fancying his chances when the KDF championship come in a few weeks' time. Whether they take place in a few weeks' time. And of course, I'll be handing you over to Bernard Rotich to speak to Vincent Wesley and John Lomoni.
Thank you so much, Mulemi. Of course, we have the winner here. Utaanza na jina lako alafu tuambie mbio ya leo imekuwa namna gani?
Kwa majina ni Vincent Langat. Kwa majina ni Vincent Langat. Race haikuwa rahisi vile. Ila tunang'ang'ana hadi tukashinda. Yeah.
Tuliona umekimbia alafu ulikuwa nyuma alafu ukasurge forward na ukaongeza pace kabisa. Labda ilikuwa ni calculation ulikuwa umefanya?
Yeah, ni calculation nilikuwa nimefanya tu. Sikuwa na matumaini nitashinda, lakini hiyo ya mwisho nimeona niko kwa cabin. Nikaamua acha nijaribu nione kama nitashinda. Yeah.
Labda unafanya mazoezi wapi na baada ya hii unajitayarishia mbio gani?
Nafanya mazoezi Keringet na Nakuru County. Race yangu ya ambayo najitayarishia saa hii ni Valencia 10K. Yeah, road race.
So wishing you all the best. Asante. Of course, that was number 2. Number 1, of course, the winner. We want to talk to number 2 now. The second athlete. Sawa. I want to talk to the second athlete here. And of course, a lot of chaos here, but I want to talk to utaanza na jina lako alafu tuambie mbio imekuwa namna gani.
My name is Wesley Kipkemoyego. Race imekuwa ngumu kidogo, lakini nashukuru Mungu ameniwezesha nimekuwa namba 2.
Labda tuonyeshe, utuambie unafanya mazoezi wapi?
Nafanya mazoezi yangu Keringet. Yeah.
Coach wenu ni nani?
Josephat Bet.
Na Josephat pia naona amekimbia leo, amesema yeye ndio kocha wenu. Mmekimbia na coach leo?
Yeah, tumekimbia pamoja na coach. Yeah.
So labda unajitayarisha mbio gani sasa?
Saa hii naenda kujipanga mazoezi nione race yenye iko hapo mbele. Yeah.
So all the best. Asante. John, we are now joined by the third athlete, that is John Lomoni from Iten. John, habari ya leo? Mbio imekuwa namna gani?
Salama sana. Mbio kwa side yangu nasema imekuwa tricky kali kidogo. Lakini nimetungangana.
Kwa huu mwezi umefanya vizuri pale Iten, Eldoret, uliwin hiyo 10 km road races na hapa leo tumeona umeingia podium namba 3. Labda uko na mipangilio gani kwenda mbele?
Sasa inajitayarisha. Niko na race January Valencia. Ndio maana sasa najaribu kupush. Yeah.
Labda itakuwa race yako ya kwanza kwenda international ama namna gani?
Kwa race yangu ya kwanza. Yeah.
Na labda kwa watazamaji tu unafanya mazoezi wapi?
Nafanya Iten na Kipran. Ndio amekuwa akinisukuma. Amenisaidia hadi hapa penye nimefika sasa. Yeah.
Asante sana. And of course, Mulemi, we will be talking to the coach. Maybe tuongee na coach. Robert, nisaidie coach. Of course tunataka kujua coach anaitwa nani na leo amekimbia na wanariadha wake na atatuambia wamekuwa namba ngapi hao wanariadha. Labda coach, habari yako?
Mzuri jana.
Labda unaitwa nani na unafanya mazoezi wapi ama unafanyisha mazoezi wapi wanariadha?
Kwa majina ni Josephat Bet. Nafanya kama athlete tena ni coach ya Vincent Langate na Yego Wesley. Na nimefurahia leo, nilikuwa nimeambia vile tumejitayarisha hii race lazima iende nyumbani. Tuna train Keringet na tunafanya mazoezi mzuri. Yeah.
Mwanariadha wako amekuwa namba 1 na 3. Wewe sijui umekuwa namba ngapi?
Mimi leo nimekuwa namba 16. Lakini expressway marathon ilikuwa namba 2. Yeah.
So labda ni siri gani mnatumia pale labda ndio mkafanya vizuri leo?
Ni discipline tu. Kuwa mazoezi kila siku na kung'ang'ana. Kila kitu itaenda laini. Yeah.
Sawa. Asante sana. All the best. Asante sana. So that is a coach to the athletes who managed to win today, the first and third athlete. And then, of course, himself, he managed to emerge 16th. So it's really encouraging to see athlete and the athlete and his and the coach running in one race, which is really beautiful. That is it from me, Mulemi. Maybe I hand over to you so that you can finalize this. Mulemi.
It's been a great year of athletics from January to December. Of course, we had plenty of athletics events that came your way, courtesy of Athletics Kenya TV, a great team that has always ensured that you get this straight from your living room, straight from your laptop, straight from your phones, and straight from all over the world. And it's been a very successful year for Kenyan athletes. Talk about the successes in the Olympics, talk about the records that have been broken all along, talk about the athletes who posted their personal bets, talk about visiting new places like Olkalou and bringing to you live all the action that you can see in front of you. Of course, on your screens is the 10-kilometer senior men's race still underway, and of course we've already interviewed the winners, and the beautiful town of Olkalou, of course, the one that has brought memories to many of these athletes and fans who thronged down here. Beautiful insights there from the governor of Nyandarua, His Excellency Moses Kiarie. Of course, we heard from the minister, the cabinet secretary, Ministry of Sports, Kipchumba Murkomen, of course, talking about always been the topic of the day, and you can see the scholarships that are being issued, things that make athletics great again, make athletes have that hope of having opportunities. Talking about the beautiful county of Nyandarua, the county of, and of course the town of Olkalou, the town of big ants, the town that is the home of milk and honey, the town, and of course an area that has all the natural vibrance. So talk about agribusiness, talk about poultry farming, talk about subsistence farming, of course, and the economic activities down here, and of course the beautiful scenery there, and of course looking yonder, the beautiful mountain story that bring best environment for athletics. And we were at the Arboretum, a place where you can see and feel everything natural, including the big trees that were also planted by those who we can call the forefathers, the ones who came here and ensure that everything here is green. But coming to the event, of course, being the last event of the year, Athletics Ak-Betika cross country weekend meet here in Olkalou. It's been a day of success, and of course right now a couple of athletes, of course, will be taking a break. We'll be back not in a long time. On 4th of January, we'll be heading to Mosocho in Kisii County for the 6th and final leg of the Athletics Ak-Betika cross country weekend meet. And we promise that everything there will be fireworks, everything will be great. And of course, not forgetting the production team that has been great. But just before we go, maybe there is something special from Bernard.
Yeah, thank you, Mulemi. It has been a great day, and of course, not only those who are watching here online are from Kenya. As I told you, we have international people watching this race. It was really amazing, and of course, they sent their greetings. They are happy to see these races happening back at home. Of course, we have one of the athletes who is also, I told you about Caroline, who is in Washington State University. We also have another athlete, Evans Kurui, who was actually training at, of course, the results are here. Vincent Kibet ran 32.05, followed by Wesley Yego 32.08, and then John Lomon was third in 32.18. So I was talking about Evans Kurui, who is also a student at Washington State University, and of course he has been following up on this race. He used to train at Sinonin, and he's happy that his teammates are doing very well in the junior category and also in the 2-kilometer loop. Those are the products of Sinonin. So he's really happy to see them doing very well. Remember, they are sacrificing their sleep because, USA, people are sleeping right now, but they managed to follow the race and they had to sacrifice their sleep. Otherwise, it's been a good event. We are really happy because people turned out well. They came to watch. Others have been watching online. We want to really appreciate those who have been following us online. And as we prepare for the next event, I know we are going to get other champions also from the other side of the country. I told you the cross country gives everybody a chance to compete. The 6 series, and then we have the counties. After the counties, we have the regional and the discipline forces, and then of course we shall have the national. After all these cross countries, who will emerge the national champion in cross country? It's a matter of wait and see, because in February we will be able to get to know who will be able to become a national champion. And then of course the last event of course will be the Sirikwa Classic World Cross Country Tour, which will happen in Eldoret in February. I know athletes are also looking forward to that. It has been a great event, Mulemi. I hope to see you in Kisii.
Hopefully we'll be live in Kisii, and of course right now we are telling you that take care of yourselves. It's a festive season, so we still need you guys. Celebrate, and of course Betika bringing you all the live action, and together with the Athletics Kenya, Nyandarua County of course, making sure that everything that we bring to you here comes in crisp finest. So it is bye-bye from us, and on behalf of the production crew, the sponsors, Athletics Kenya, and everyone who was watching, thank you for keeping us company from the AM into the PM. From us, it's bye-bye and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.